Yeah, man.
It's Podcast Tuesday.
What a world we live in, right?
The world is shook up right now.
Say,
Out of
man.
control.
Yeah, this episode
Yeah.
is episode 161, out of control, and definitely the world is out of control. It every day, man, when you wake up, you never know what's going to be on the news in the morning to start off with, and you never know what's going to transpire throughout that day.
You got to
It's
check
like,
your social media every morning because you
It
might
say,
literally
miss
man,
like
something.
the
Your
plot
bad
thickens
built
throughout the day.
butch body and all of that.
The plot
say,
thickens
man.
throughout the day for sure.
Cameron on
Oh yeah,
CNN.
But why would you even invite him on a platform like that?
that was the
He's
dumbest. I just don't
like
understand.
It's marketing, bro.
like he he
They know what's up because
he's
he can't do a promo without consent. So they know you know what's up. I
yeah,
can't
I
just come
mean,
on your show and just throw out a promo.
There's ways around saying what you're gonna say, and then you put and other topics on there, and he signs off to what he thinks is mainly about, which is publicity and advertising for his podcast or whatever he's got going. And
They
then
didn't
you're
give him no
going
props for that. They didn't
diddy
let him
diddy
no
diddy diddy
space for
diddy,
that.
and he's like, "Yo, what am I really here for? Like,
Right.
wait a minute."
Hilarious.
yeah, he got
I wish.
ambushed.
I hope to God one day I get to work at a news studio. I do want to, as part of journalism, I do hope that
Okay,
happens one day. So I want to see the back end stuff.
manifest.
Yeah, ESPN journalism, whatever, low budget, high budget, whatever. I want to learn that.
That
Yeah,
man said, "Put me in a Tubi newsroom."
I'm just saying.
I'm like
I,
that.
I want to see it because it's interesting because when you got to understand the marketing side of it. And then you also got to understand who's popping at that time to drive everything. So I want to check that out. And we know Cameron and Mace's podcast and their show is hilarious for one, but
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
fine. It's
no, it's
solid.
dope.
It's solid.
It's a dope concept. I'm glad that them two made amends,
Right.
and they are doing business together. And yeah, I love the dialogue and the banter that they have, man. It's pretty cool. It's
And
pretty cool.
Cameron sound like Kermit the Frog a little bit. So
you say he what?
you sound like Kermit the Frog, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
All
All right,
right.
what come to you next?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Hey,
If he mentions me and he shout out our show, hey, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? We mentioned you.
He's the all publicity is good for him. He cool with it. Is that what it is? That's
Facts.
crazy.
Facts.
yeah, like they said, they saying something good, they saying something bad, they saying something.
They
That's the
saying
They
something.
important
saying
part, right?
And then it just gives me room, then you know what I'm saying, pontificate and finish it
Go ahead.
off or
Go ahead and spell that. Spell it.
yeah,
Spell
I'm sitting here like
pontificate.
PONTIFCATE. What? Google it.
I just want to make sure.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Your boy was a spelling major. You know what I'm saying? I could win the
That man
spelling.
says spelling major. All right.
Right.
Don't
What's
So
wrong
what
with
that
it?
say what that is? What's a spelling major?
He a spelling major.
could have been part of the spelling bee in this joint. You know?
That ain't part of the core curriculum.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
Brother
All
know
right.
how to put his words and spell them. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Before we get started, we gotta check on our people. Trisha Michelle, how you feeling today?
I'm good.
She got her hair laid today. Going on with your bad self.
Her hair is always on point.
I don't
Stop
say
it.
first of all, it's been late for like weeks now, but thank you for barely noticing. But it's a good day. I mean, the weather good, the life is good. I don't know. I'm
I
blessed.
don't know.
Ain't stressed. I can't
You,
complain.
you ain't had to punch nobody these last few
I ain't
weeks.
had to punch nobody in a long time,
Long
actually.
time.
But
You ain't stole on nobody.
no, I
All
don't
right.
steal on people. First of all, let's not act like that's what I do. While I'm out here
I
entertaining.
mean, with your hair laid, I just figured, you know what I'm saying? Just, you might got the Ike effect or something, Tina effect.
Oh, man,
Just
say
come around
you got
slapping
the Ike.
somebody.
The
You know what I'm
Ike
saying?
effect. This is
I don't know. I'm just saying, might. I don't know.
no, sir. I'm not abusive in any way whatsoever.
Okay, all right. I just figured, you know what I'm saying? Just flapping, swinging your hair, you know what I'm saying, from time to time, somebody might catch one.
I
But
don't know if I want to go blonde because I
You
ain't
know what I'm
trying to
saying?
get called no bleach blonde, whatever she called those girls.
Bleach blonde, bad body built. What all
Butch built
speeds?
body,
it's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
bleach
Try saying
blonde
that 5 times fast.
Man,
body.
that hit the internet like crazy, right?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of genius too, because Trisha Michelle sent me a clip that she's actually trying to trademark that. So
Yeah.
Hey,
if
got
she
to.
trademarks it and makes some apparel, some shirts and stuff like that, I mean, people might rock them. So I mean, hey, in today's
I
And
can see I
society,
can see culture wearing it, the
you
community.
got to strike
right.
while the iron's hot. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
like, BBL Drizzy.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The weirdest thing though, that joint is just so catchy. It's
It is.
weird,
It is.
but it's like catchy,
BBL
and
Drizzy.
you just
You catch
find
it.
yourself walking around, just maybe
Shout
just singing it a little bit here
Yeah.
and there. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing.
It's a
You
weird thing.
do. Like literally, you do.
I can't lie. I be in the shop.
But
BBL Drizzy.
he played it. Wasn't he at what was it? Soccer, football, basketball, somewhere. He played a song.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Metro. He did.
Oh
He played
I
it
man,
wouldn't
for
doubt it.
everybody in the stands.
that is funny.
It's a chart topper. So
And people have been making apparel, carpets,
Nails. I seen some
t-shirts.
nails.
Yeah, pictures of
The,
people and putting on their
socks.
nails,
Y'all seen the
socks.
BBL
they
Drizzy
had
sock
Drake bent over with the big
with the BBL?
booty on the nails, talking about BBL Drizzy.
Oh
Hilarious.
man. See, but
Hilarious.
that's the thing. You have to strike while the iron hot. Whenever something happens, make some
Facts.
apparel for it and you can capitalize. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's
Yeah.
just that simple. So if you're looking for a hustle, people, a lot of people do that. So you know
Social
what I'm
media
saying?
hustle. And
You
Yeah.
gotta be on
FYI,
time. You gotta be on
K
time.
Dot removed the copyright infringements off of like that. A lot of
Oh,
that
because he
stuff.
wants
So
that played everywhere.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Anyone can use it for
And it
anything.
worked.
Facts.
And it worked because it's been
Facts.
played those songs have been played everywhere.
Facts.
Yes.
And BBL Drizzy, I can't lie. You put that in your You can put that in your ride and bump to it. That's slap. I'm just saying. With your subwoofer, that's slap. I can't lie.
Oh man.
I'm
All
just saying.
right. All right. Before we jump into the worldly things that we need to talk about today, what's going on in society, we definitely love sports here at the Fiyah Session. So we want to touch on the sports, briefly, because we got a lot going on in the sports world, namely the NBA right now.
Right.
The
Yep.
first
Ain't
thing
one
that
going on.
I kind of wanted to touch on was some sad news for me. I don't know if you all saw this news, was that they were talking about TNT lost their
Yeah.
contract
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
NBA. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, NBA on TNT is
That's
going
my show.
it's gonna be going away.
I mean, Turner Sports didn't
No.
even put in a bid. That bid must have been high.
Yeah.
2.5, 2.8 billion, somewhere around there for the NBA.
I just
Yeah.
don't know. But I enjoy
Yeah.
watching the halftime, like I really enjoy it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They have you laughing. It's really they got a good team. They all mesh well. Like I don't. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
they got good chemistry.
Yeah.
Right.
Ernie said he's
He's
not
staying
leaving
with Turner
Turner.
Sports.
So,
Right.
to break that group up is gonna be tough to watch games, especially,
Yeah.
without having them together
On
because
Thursday, right.
I mean, my highlight is watching Kenny Smith run to the board, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
For
So
sure.
yeah, so but shout out to them, man. They've been on the air for a long time, for a lot of years, and
Right.
it's been very entertaining. So hopefully something can
Something
happen and
right.
yeah, somebody could come through in the ninth hour, as the old folks say, and snatch it up and make that show, continue of some sort.
Right.
Because I would
Sports
hate
wise,
to,
right?
I
I
would
would
hate
think
to
that
do without it.
I would think that Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, and EJ and their producers got enough pull to do something still NBA related. Because it just
Hopefully,
doesn't, yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
to just kind of, but I mean, we in a new era. The young bucks, the young sports fans want that spotlight and they want it. And so they're coming for it. So I don't know. But yeah, that would be sad if we Chuck is hilarious. So that would be crazy if we
Yeah,
don't see that no more. But
Yep.
I hate to see it.
And as y'all can see, I'm wearing my USA gear. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
right,
to Team USA, the men's and the women's for the summer, because the summer is
summer's
coming
popping up.
up,
Right.
and that means the Olympics is coming. Um,
Yes.
so we make a big deal, and rightfully so, of the men's team, and the women's team has plenty of talent too. When I went and looked at the women's roster, just looking at Aaliyah Boston and
Mhm.
Brittany Griner as being the
Yeah.
front court, just those two individuals alone, that's imposing to anybody else that we play. I don't see any other team,
Beating
especially with
them.
the women's side, beating them or even
Yeah.
coming close. I just don't see it.
Did
It's
any
too
of
much.
the
Yeah.
young Bucks rookies make it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe
I mean, I don't
Caitlin.
have the full roster, but yeah, there's some young talent on there. But trust me, the women's team is loaded,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
what I'm saying, they're gonna do what they
I
do.
know Asia on there. I know she gonna be balling.
Yeah, they're gonna do what they do, and they're gonna dominate. So that's not even a question. Now, the men should
Mm.
dominate, but the
Tough.
world is catching up. So,
Yeah. They
um,
are.
with this
I'm
roster that we have, you can take a look at this roster, and it's a great roster. Don't get me
right.
wrong, but
It don't have a pure point guard besides Drew. Well, no,
well,
Halliburton is a pure point guard. I take that back.
you
I
don't
take that
need a pure
back.
point guard when you have LeBron James still on the squad, and you
That's
That's
have
true.
true.
I can
you
agree
have
with that. Yeah.
Curry, so you have some distributors, and even the bigs that we have, they're great at passing, like Joel Embiid. The Sixers run offense through him a lot of the times too. So we have some options, and we have some flexibility. We
Hmm.
definitely have plenty of scoring.
Right.
uh, so we are, I think the difference maker is our ability to play defense, and I think guys like Anthony Davis and Anthony Edwards,
Right.
along with Drew Holiday and Kawhi Leonard, if he's healthy,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Kawhi.
those guys will
Uh,
will will allow us to be good defensively. Even if Kawhi is not healthy, whoever replaces him, or
and
They
whoever
still
has
got.
to
They
replace
still
him.
Ant
got.
should pretty much Ant should run that. Ant should handle that by himself to a degree.
Well, I think it's gonna be some tough matchups that we run into as far as the bigs. I think our
Right.
guards are gonna be fine, but I think the bigs are that's what's
They're gonna
gonna
run into some other bigs.
yeah, those
Give,
Europe
give us
those
a chance to see the new up and coming international bigs, if any of them are coming out in this draft. So
oh they are. They got
yeah,
they got a couple that I've seen in the draft over the past week or so that
mhm.
during the draft workouts that were really good. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Now one of my bones to pick with it is Kyrie Irving isn't on that.
Well, here's the thing. The USA team is sponsored by Nike, and we
Hmm.
already know that Kyrie and Nike don't mesh.
Ah,
So that's
ah,
that's that's
There's
probably
politics.
conflict of
yeah,
interest there, huh?
that's
There's some
probably the
politics
issue with that.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Because
because
we
he
all
definitely would
know
be a difference
he's
maker.
worthy. We all know he's worthy, but we all know why he
Right.
ain't.
Facts, facts.
I mean, I can see him giving up the spot to Halliburton because Halliburton balling. That young kid is balling. But I can see that. But Kai should have been there. I'm just saying.
Well, we will see how they mesh, and
Right.
I think we're still the team to beat until
Yeah,
until
I
something
agree.
until somebody does it again, because in the past we've sent pretty good teams, and we've had a lot of success, obviously, with the exception of one year that we went down there and got the
Got
bronze,
handled.
you know. But I think that was more coaching versus the actual roster. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, that's neither here nor there. It happened, and I don't see it happening again. I think the NBA has too much to base on that, and the USA. So they're gonna make sure that they send the right roster, the right
Right.
coaches, and they're gonna get it right because they know
Yeah.
they need that gold medal.
We need that. We need
They
that.
need to
Bring it
Bring
have
that
that.
home.
home. Going on, bring that home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need
Yeah.
that. We need that. Plus, plus again, we need to see Ant and Halliburton take like their next step forward over here as well and get that expertise over there again. So I know it's Halliburton's first time, but Ant, this is like it'll be his second time. So
Yeah, so a lot of those guys went and represented the USA, under 18, 18U teams, 16U, and so on and so forth. So they've had some international play experience against those other teams. But this is a different thing. This is for all the marbles. This is big boy ball. So we shall see. And speaking of Ant, man, this is difficult for me because Ant-Man took out the Joker, and I said I always laugh because I said it sounded like some type of Marvel movie when you talk about it, but he took out the Joker, which was a big thing, right? Because everybody I talked to said nope, the Joker's not gonna allow it. You know what I'm saying? Denver's not gonna allow them to beat him. Ant-Man can't do it. I'm like, bruh.
I had the Timberwolves beating the Nuggets in the series. So
so it's gonna be difficult for me because Ant is one of my favorite players, and now he's playing against my home team. So I'm like,
now
we're gonna see.
Yeah, we got comments. Bruce Morrow said Joker is not Marvel, he's DC. Yeah, I'm familiar with Marvel and DC, my guy, but I don't like DC, so I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna talk about it like that. So I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah, we're not getting technical.
we ain't getting technical, but I'm not a DC guy. I'm not a DC guy, right?
Hey, you can't play around with the Marvel and the DC folks, though. They can
have their thing. I'm not big in it, but I'm not really into DC comics. I never have been. So you know what I'm saying? I've always been a Marvel guy. So
it's interesting though, because I didn't like Denver's bench. So I was like, they look, very, very, very suspect.
Okay,
and even against the Lakers,
but
they were kind of down 70% of until the fourth. So
you say you don't like Denver's bench, but this is the same team that just won it all the year before.
Yes,
it is the same exact return.
What you call Brown was missing. They're missing some key pieces off the bench.
That's the only one.
But
the rest of the team is the same.
15 points. He was really good for them,
bruh. They had a better bench. They had a deeper bench than most. Because when you get in the playoffs, most of these teams go 7 deep. They go 7 deep, maybe 8.
7, 8, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
now,
Denver
name me the 8 for Denver's. I mean, name me the 3 or the 2 coming off Denver's bench that you was like, okay, baller.
I'm not sure. Sure.
You can't name them because they're
you can't discredit returning champs and act like they didn't have what it takes to get where they got and to be who they are who was there.
That part I can agree with. That's why it was such a shock for most people when Ant and them beat them. But
but they didn't get dogged.
They lost the one game by like 45.
Well, that one. What I'm saying is I forgot about that one. Yeah.
They lost one game by like 45.
Like they just got skunked out and they didn't belong there. Huh?
I said the champs can be about 45. That's tough.
And that is real bad, especially MVP and all that. All that. That looks bad look, but he'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Here's the catch. Here's the one of the catchy parts about that though. The Nuggets GM who built the championship team left and went to Minnesota. Or I don't know if they didn't want to pay him or how that went, but he's the new GM for Minnesota. So when you look at that team in Minnesota, it's like it was built to to compete with the defending champs.
If you're gonna be strategic, and then you would do so because that's who you need to beat. If they beat everybody else, then you need to beat them. So strategically, that should be what you should build it around. So they came in and they did what they needed to do, mopped it up real quick, and
got out of there. Now, Ken, look at Minnesota's bench And I know you can name 2 guys off their bench.
Oh, I'm looking at the rosters now just to make sure that I'm on point.
Right.
But like I said, I mean, the bench the bench that they have is not terrible, and it's not too far removed because Caldwell Pope.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Um, I'm trying to
And that's
see who
it.
else.
That's it. Reggie Jackson, the
Yeah,
Brown kid. Reggie Jackson was hurt. Obviously, we know that. So he wasn't at full strength, but he's like 30 plus years old. So the Brown kid, who's like a rookie.
you like that
He
Brown
played
kid?
with them last year. This is his second
yeah.
year.
Braun
Brown.
Brown.
And
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
after that, that was pretty much it. They didn't have a big coming off the bench that you could throw in the game. You know what I'm saying? Just to give Joker some minutes, Joker
I
some
mean,
rest.
yeah, Joker was. He only missed a minute.
Yeah, and he was hit by a trio with the Timberwolves. He was hit with Nas Reed, 6th man of the year for Denver. For Minnesota.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert and
but but you gotta look at it like this
Cat.
too. With Joker being the MVP, you're not gonna have a lot of time where you're on the bench. That's just
I
Of course
agree.
not. Of
if
course
you're a
not.
star, if you're the
I agree.
star, you're gonna play most of the minutes, especially in the playoffs.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So
I
Playoffs,
agree.
like if you ain't hurt and we ain't up like that, you
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, you
Like,
playing 45 to 48. You know what I'm saying? He
yeah,
probably got you get TV timeout, sitting down for a minute before the TV timeout type of thing.
that's
You know
about
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
That's where he get his rest at. But
Mm-hmm.
even with that, though, on the roster, you didn't have no choice. Wasn't nobody to bring off the bench anyway.
yeah, I think it's a mixture of maybe that, but I think it's also a mixture of the Timberwolves having that young energy and
Yeah,
being able to go on runs at the right time.
right.
And like I said, the difference maker, and a lot of people don't believe it, but when you play sports and you have a alpha guy like Ant-Man
Yeah,
and who has that type of confidence, it makes a difference.
it does.
It makes a difference when you got a
Confidence for
guy
sure.
that's good, but he doesn't have that ultimate confidence, and you got a guy that is got the skills
Mhm.
and the ultimate confidence.
Right.
That could be the edge, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I definitely give Ant respect because when they do his his little highlight reels and he's talking, you could tell he knows basketball because he's telling his guys, look, yo, I got to speed up the tempo, or I got to come off the pick more, or
Mm-hmm.
hey, look, Nas, slow down. Like you had a little dude on you. Hey, Rudy, slow down. Look who they got on you. They playing, hey, Cat,
Yeah.
slow down. They got this Brown kid on you who's like 6'4", playing you in the post. Slow down. So you got to respect his basketball IQ as well as his hustle, because all those clips, they kept showing him putting his players in the right position to succeed, and you got to respect that from a basketball standpoint. So
Yeah, and that's what star players do. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
And he's definitely a star player, and I give him a year or so, and he will be listed with the superstars in the league. I guarantee you
right,
that.
Yeah. I I,
You know
I
what I'm
see
saying?
I see greatness.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, definitely.
That's a
So,
fact.
but yeah, so I mean, they passed them up, so now they got to go against the Mavericks, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be an interesting matchup because there's going to
Yeah.
be some that's the heavyweight fight. That's
Right.
definitely a heavyweight fight
Oh
with a
yeah.
lot of talent, and when you come down to the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals, the Western Conference Final is definitely the more entertaining of the two.
Right.
The Pacers and Celtics will be a boring series, but it might have a couple of sparks here and there, but it's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
be a boring. It's gonna be a
Isn't the game
physical.
be over, as a matter of fact?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more physical. That series is, I believe.
I
So
mean, the Celtics Pacers series is going to be up tempo, so it's going to be fun offensively. But
10 minutes
who
to
you
go in the
got?
game.
Oh
Who
yeah,
you
third
got?
quarter.
What I know you Dallas. No, that's
Mhm.
home. Who you got winning the series? Mavs or
I'm
Wolves?
going Mavs. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm going Mavs in 6. I'm going Mavs in 6.
I got Mavs in 6 as well. Patricia, who
So
you going with?
Awful with the Mavs.
Okay, I'm going Mavs in 6, but wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota pulled it off. I don't think they got anybody that can guard Luca. in my opinion. So
I mean,
I
it's
think,
the heavyweight match that they're gonna get a little beat up and banged up, I believe, and I do believe Mav's gonna be the ones that dominate at the end of it all.
yeah,
I think Kyrie is the X factor here. I think
Yeah,
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 whatever Kyrie we get in that series is just gonna be the difference maker. Cause Luka gonna do what he does,
right.
yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. I think the Mavs bigs, the
Hmm.
that trade that we made to
Yeah,
get the
for
bigs that we
Gafford.
got,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for Gafford and
Yeah.
Washington, I think that's gonna pay big dividends too. But I think
Washington and D Jones are the two guys I say gotta like ball out for the Mavs, because I think Ant is gonna kind of neutralize Kyrie a little bit, and Jaden McDaniels, I'm sure he's gonna guard Kyrie a little bit. So I think that they'll neutralize Kyrie just a little bit. But if PJ Washington and D Jones ball out, which I expect Luka to, but if they ball out, I expect them to win the series. So
yeah. All
I'm
right. So
interested. It's
yeah.
gonna be an
So
interesting series.
yeah,
yep, definitely. And
Gonna be
like
a
I
good
said,
one.
we know Benji. We know Benji's going Celtics. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
you know what
most
I'm
of
saying, in
yeah.
the Eastern Conference, and I mean it's the sexy pick, right?
Right,
it's the
Because
highly favored.
they're the better team. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They got the better squad. The Pacers are the surprising squad, right? They
Right.
They are
surprising a lot of people.
actually.
So
Them boys can score the ball, man, and they
yeah,
just they
they have
Yeah,
run the
nothing to
floor.
lose. They have nothing to
Nothing
lose,
to
right?
lose.
and I
Right,
They can
think
just ball out because they're not even
yeah,
supposed to be here according to the critics. So you know what
right.
I'm
I
saying? They
think
don't
that's what
have
makes it so golden for them, though, is just
Right,
and
how pressureless it is to
yeah,
just go play. Like
the
right.
Celtics have all the pressure
absolutely.
I
because
would agree.
because
All of it.
they keep getting there and they ain't cutting it. They ain't cutting it when they get there.
And
So
they
they got
getting blasted in the media because people are like, man, don't nobody want to see y'all make it to the Eastern Conference Finals no more. Like, we don't, who cares?
And then
I can't
there
lie
is
to
that
you.
percentage of people that's over it. That there's
Right,
some that's over the Celtics. Like, all right, next.
you got
right.
folks out here even saying, you know what I'm saying, is Tatum a superstar? They're questioning it. Is Tatum a superstar?
He is, but he's just a silent superstar. He's not loud, boisterous, demonstrative. You don't see that energy from him. So it's always like under the radar. Neither is Jaylen Brown. Neither is anybody on that team like a get in your face kind of guy. So it's always under the radar. So you don't really get the that from the squad or dog feel, and they just fly under the radar.
So
But
does
Okay,
that take away from some of your, you know, superstardom? I need some grit. I need some.
I
I need
agree, it
some.
does. If you
Like
think of every superstar,
I need some
MJ
dog in
would
you.
talk
Like
trash.
Kobe
Even
got
white
dog in
man
him.
Larry
Jordan got
Bird.
dog in him. Like I
Right,
need dog in you. Brown got dog in him. Like you got some dog in you. You
right.
can't just be quiet.
You
well
can't.
that's true. Bruce Morrow said, you know, superstars deliver. Tatum delivered yet, and that's the problem,
There you
right?
go.
These guys, a lot of times in the media, especially in with the public, you know, we equate superstars to when people get max money. Like when people you see a guy get max money, you say, okay,
Yeah,
well, he's a superstar, he's getting paid superstar money. To
right,
me, Jaylen Brown is not a superstar, but
right,
he got max money,
right.
right? So, you know, people don't confuse the two. And I was gonna ask you, Benji, since the Celtics are your squad, who's the alpha dog on that team? Like, who is the leader?
Yeah.
Well, they had to. So with both of them being so young, right, and they've had a ton of success. Like they wanted it to be Tatum, right?
Mhm.
But Tatum's not the rah kind of guy. Can he drop buckets? Can he do all of that? Yeah. JB to me isn't a superstar because his assist numbers he doesn't make other people around him better. So Tatum made the effort to do that this year, even though his assist numbers are like went up to like 5 something this year. To me, a superstar is a guy that makes others around him better.
Okay.
Assist wise, we all know Jordan assist numbers weren't crazy because he wasn't asked to, but he still could pass the rock.
Yep.
Kobe, same thing. Like he could still pass the rock. He could get you open, even though he took tons of shots. You knew he could still pass the rock. You don't get that from Jaylen Brown. So they want Tatum to be that guy, right? The but that's just not his personality. And him and JB are so similar that it does make it sometimes difficult because you get into ISO ball, and that ain't gonna always win you a championship. When you got two players like that on the squad, you need a difference. So
I think that's their problem. I think they don't have a leader. And when you
right,
get deep in the playoffs like this and you get in these tough series, you have to have leaders. You have to have
right,
somebody that steps up and says, like Ant, like,
right,
hey man, let's go. You know what
right,
I'm saying? And I don't see that from them. I don't
right.
see that on the
I
floor. I
know,
don't see
yeah.
them.
It's funny. It's weird. Even though this is my team, it's funny. You never really see clips of Tatum, Jason Brown, or any of them
You don't
like
see anybody.
very demonstrative going at each other. You never see that. I don't know if they keep it on the wraps. I don't know what it is, but I watch them, been watching for years. And you just
Yeah.
never see that. So it's interesting because they have so much success, but they haven't won it yet. So yeah, you're gonna get all this criticism, Randy Moss, until you win one. Peyton Manning,
Imagine when they
until
do
you
find
win
that
one.
person that is that for that team. When they
Right.
get that, I mean,
Now,
they could be so much more because that draws just something special out of everybody. When you got somebody
right.
just like, yo, y'all, we gotta, doing like Ant, like. But if you
Go
ain't got
ahead.
nobody calling shots, then you kind of just y'all all just there playing.
Unless they win it this year.
That's not gonna bring
So
nobody. Who's gonna step up then and be that still?
Listen,
They just gonna win it again.
I mean, but if
listen.
they win with this style
I
this
don't
year,
see the Pacers nor the Celtics beating the Mavericks nor the Timberwolves in the finals. I just don't see it.
I
I think
mean,
whoever
got a
wins
great
the
record
Western
against both
Conference,
of them.
I think
I would be a little bit. I would be a little bit nervous about playing the Mavericks more than the Timberwolves. Mavericks because they got the experience with Kai having played in the finals,
I think
and you
Anthony
got
is
Jason
problem for
Kidd
yourself.
who's been there before. With the Timberwolves, even though all of them are ballers, it's like I would be worried more about the Mavs than I would be about the Timberwolves, only
either
because
one of them
experience
would
wise.
beat would
But
beat the Pacers or the
yeah,
Celtics. That's
that's
what I'm
true
saying
to
though.
worry. Yes, it's true to worry more about the Mavs over the Timberwolves, but either way, both of them is still gonna do like that's a true
I
statement
I
still. But
I
I
I, I
agree
am
that
not gonna give you the Timberwolves over the Celtics in the finals.
we
I
know the
would
This is the
not.
difference.
Pacers are
Hold
just
on,
yeah,
but this is
okay.
the difference maker right here. Bruce Morrow again. Tatum is a poodle and is a
And it's a
Doberman.
Doberman.
That
Period. Like
is the
that's what's
difference.
gonna show up to the game. You're
That's
gonna
the
have
difference.
Hey,
he gonna be barking in his face like what's good, and they just gonna
hey,
be
and all I hope for is if he gets that matchup. I want that matchup. I can't lie to you. Now, I'll say this because Kyrie played on the Celtics before, I do want that matchup. But if I had, well, I'm going to say this. I do want Celtics and the Mavs in the finals because I'm flying to Dallas to go watch a finals game for sure. If that happens, no doubt. So if it's Boston or Minnesota, I know I ain't going to Minnesota. I know I ain't going to Boston. So but I do want the Mavs to get there because I want to go catch a game. I want to go to a finals game, and it would be my first finals game ever. So I'm
hey,
just saying.
good tickets, man. Tickets is something
I just
else.
want to say that's letting you know Benji got that bread.
Got
He got
that
that bread.
money because
If they go, I'm going.
Yeah.
If they go, I'm going.
that's
So,
right.
but I can't lie. I would rather see. I want to see Tatum and Brown against Ant because I know Ant gonna talk trash.
You're not gonna see. Well, yeah.
I want to see Ant talk trash to Tatum and Brown, and I want to see dog come out of them because Ant is going to bring the dog out of
They
you,
not
or you
gonna
go cower down.
I see a
no,
tail tuck.
they don't have the dog in them. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, we have to see. We have to see. I don't
You can
know. So it's gonna
if
be
you're in
interesting.
the NBA this many years and you haven't shown it yet, it's not there.
I
It's just
and
mean,
not.
he's been faced many a dogs still.
Like Ant
And
been this way since day one.
yeah,
If you
like
if it's there, it's there. If you're a dog, you're a dog from the beginning. Like you
I
don't
mean,
exactly.
I
just
agree. I
you don't
agree.
Yeah.
develop that. right? It's just in you. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I
yeah,
agree.
it's gonna
I
be
agree.
interesting. Like I said, I'm going Dallas, of course, all the way. We'll see, we'll see.
Mhm.
And this game, the tonight, Boston and Indiana is a close game.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. It is
Boston's
very
up by
boring.
3 right now, so 5 minutes to go.
we'll see.
We'll check in later on that and see what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's talk about the WNBA right quick. Cause before
Yes,
we
yes.
move on, I found one interesting graphic that I wanted to put up too before we move on. This was interesting, right? So this shows you the effect that Caitlin Clark and the Fever are having, because the last Fever game, they had 17,000 plus in the stands, and that's higher than the Pacers average attendance of 16,466. That is outstanding. That's crazy too, right?
It's so amazing, and I love to see it. I'm not even gonna
Right.
lie.
I
Like, to
mean,
see the stands and to see all those people excited.
Jerseys
And like when I was looking
everywhere.
at the game, I was like, wait a minute, it's this many people at a WNBA
It's
game?
a
This
it's
is
a it's a
crazy.
packed out. It's a packed
It's
out.
packed
Like
hey,
house.
really,
they
like
got to capitalize. They're making money off of it now, and
I mean,
they got
everybody is
they got the face
invested.
of it now. So
They're invested.
people are
And
Yeah.
invested now.
so
Yes.
these rookies, they didn't pulled and tucked on everybody's emotions watching the story, and they just want to see it play out. And now it's carried over into the WNBA, and like honestly, it's the best thing that's been happened to the WNBA right now for them to
Yeah.
get a jump start back into getting something going. And the fan bases, they building more teams.
And
It's a lot going on, and
right.
I love to see it. I love
And
to see it.
Angel Reese is doing her thing too,
She
which
is.
Yeah.
They
we
are.
And
talked
They're
about.
they're, they're doing good.
Right.
and
Right.
folks doubted her big
Yes.
time. I
Yeah.
think some people that's on that's on this show, you know what I'm saying, was kind of doubting Angel Reese, you know what I'm saying, for a minute there. But we ain't gonna go back and look at those
Look at the
episodes and talk
tape.
about that. You know what I'm
Review the
saying?
tape.
But it was somebody. I ain't gonna say no names, Benji, but it was somebody that was
I
like
mean,
Angel Reese.
I wanna,
She ain't gonna.
you gotta show it to me. I
I
mean,
can
Okay,
say
so check this
she
out.
actually compared to Caitlyn.
it's playing way better.
Um, Caitlin's still trying to find a strategy. She's not doing,
No, she's doing
I think
terrible.
the game before last, she actually did pretty decent. And now, I mean, she's struggling still. She's still trying to find her flow, but the team is her. She's a
She's
quick
on a bad
thinker,
team.
and
Yeah.
like so she's throwing the ball already, passing, and they not even like it's a lot. They all growing together over there. I think
Right.
it's.
Well,
She's on a bad team for sure.
no, she's not on a
I
bad team.
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I
I
looked at
wouldn't
the
say she's
games.
on a
I
bad
didn't
team.
I didn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was a bad team. Right now, they got a lot. They got their young core. They
Mhm.
need to develop some chemistry. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
and Caitlin has to understand that this is not her squad from college.
Right.
So everybody
Yes.
doesn't know,
Exactly. They
where.
both learn each other.
Yeah, yeah. So, but like I said, that's the narrative right now. Caitlin
Right.
Clark is struggling. So,
Mhm.
over the past I think they've played 4 games so
They
far.
lost all four.
She's averaging 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5.5 assists. But the
And
kicker
20
is
turnovers.
this 6.5 turnovers per
Yeah.
game is terrible.
Crucial. Yeah.
And that's the
So
part. And if you pay attention to it, it's very similar to, like you said, her old squad. But they knew they know what you do, so they ready for it.
Right.
But this squad ain't used to
They don't
playing with
know.
nobody that moves like you, that predicts movements like you ahead of time, and you already no looking tossing it, and they like yo. So they gonna they'll have to do some compromising and adjusting on both sides for each other. But
Her
they
coach.
would do well to learn Caitlin's
Right.
ways if they could move that fast in the ball and think when she on a dime like that. But I
Not
don't
there
it's
know.
yet.
also it's also too, like I told people before she even got to the WNBA, the defenders that she's gonna see are nowhere close to the defenders that she saw.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Oh yeah,
difference is night and day. Like the
Right.
WNBA
it's
defenders,
night and
they
day.
dig in.
Them.
Every
Them.
night she's gonna see a top tier defender
Right.
on those WNBA teams, where when she was in college, it was here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She might
Yeah,
run into a really good defender, but every
Right.
WNBA team has at least one
Or
good,
two
really
good
good
defenders
defender
who
that
trying
they
to
can.
feed their babies at that.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, they're locking her up for sure.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have to, like they say, grow into her game. And
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some flashes of brilliance. So she's definitely got the skills. Of course, we know that, but she's just
Yeah,
gonna
she's
have
gonna be
to
fine.
find her niche. And the thing about it is, on the flip side of that, which with Angel Reese, it's like her game has translated a whole lot better, right? With what she
Mm-hmm.
does, because she's off to a pretty good start. They've only played 2 games, that team, the Chicago Sky, but
Hmm.
she's averaging 11.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8.5 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists, 2 turnovers. But the crazy thing is, she leads the league in offensive rebounds with 6 per game.
Right.
And that's really good. That's a change. That's good for her.
And
Right.
that's what she was
Well,
doing in college, and
we
that's
knew
what I
her
told
game was
people.
an all around game. To be honest, I knew
Well, yeah.
that's where she would excel. Now she's gonna average 20 points a game, but she's gonna get you rebounds, assists, that type of thing. So
She's
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she finessed it all the way yet, but she's definitely smoothly moving in an all around ball game for
That's
sure.
Dennis Rodman, y'all.
She
Well, no,
doing
I wouldn't
great.
say that's Dennis Rodman. That's what they expected her to be, but
Mhm.
I think she has more skills than people thought. And we
Right.
saw the workout videos and stuff that she put out before the season, and she
I
has some
think she
offensive
invested
skills.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, she has some offensive skills, but in the league, it's not about you being this great all around player. Everybody has to find their superpower, as I always say. Everybody
Right.
got superpower. So Dennis Rodman is a great example when you talk about that, because he could score too. When you look at him with the Pistons, he
Yeah,
could
he
score.
could. He
But
could.
he found out what his superpower was: defense and rebounding. So that's what he locked in on. He didn't care about any of that other stuff. And
Right.
that's what these teams look for. I tell a
Yeah.
lot of young guys all the time, they concentrate on scoring all the time. But I'm like, when you get to a certain level, a lot of these teams aren't looking for you to score because they got scores. They're
Right.
looking for you to come in and be a complement to something else. You know what I'm saying? Play
Yeah.
defense,
Wherever that
hustle.
lack
Look
is
at Pat.
at.
Look at Pat Bev. Pat Bev,
Right.
a lot of people say, well, he trash, he this, he that. Pat Bev can score. Pat Bev can do all the things that another basketball player can do, but he found his niche. He found what's
Mhm.
going to keep him on the roster. So that's the difference. What's going to get me paid? That's what I'm going to focus on. So
Absolutely.
yeah, because
I
that's what's
agree.
most
I
important, to
agree.
keep them checks coming.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts.
And he got some good ones too for
Yeah,
rebound.
yeah, yeah. The media and people in the public can say what they want, but I'm gonna drive off in my Bentley because I got one and you don't
Right.
Ben-
already.
Did you say Bentley?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, of course.
I mean, Pat Bev got some nice cars, man. You need to check them out. Yeah, check out
Okay,
his
man.
social media, man. Pat
Yeah.
Bev
I
got some
bet
nice rides, man.
he made a career. He made a career. His story is amazing because, like, yeah, you talk about from the bottom.
Yeah,
They got a loan just to get into the NBA. It was hilarious after they cut him. So
Yeah.
you gotta respect
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, so the WNBA is popping, and
It
I
is.
mean, a lot of people gonna hate on this next one because that's what they do when it come to this. But I just wanted to mention it because it popped up on my timeline that this is a dope thing to see,
Hey,
that
it
the
is.
Colorado Buffaloes
Sold
have
out
already sold out all their home games for next year,
Sold out is insane before
before it
season.
even. Yeah, hey, the prime effect. I mean,
bruh. Like I don't care what people say. You can say what you want about Prime. You can say what you want about the way he does things. You can say what you want about if the team gonna win or lose. Listen, the part of the game is putting butts in the seat,
fact.
Look,
and
Bringing it.
he is doing that for sure, for sure.
this
So
man
like
has
you can't really hate
marketed,
on that, man.
marketed and showcased, and then whether y'all got a problem or you here to see him fail or win, or y'all here to see him, saying he
Facts.
done sold them
Right.
seats, and that's prime time, baby. Don't play with him.
What you gonna do? Prime makes things solid everywhere he goes.
You
That's a
gotta
fact.
give that man his credit.
Gotta give it.
They watching for whatever reason. They watching.
Yep, for
Keep
sure.
watching. I want they do got an easy schedule this year, so I expect them to go undefeated
I
too.
wouldn't say easy, but they do have a schedule that is more, you know what I'm saying, that they have games that are winnable. with the roster that they have, because like I said again, last year a lot of people saying it's excuses, blah blah blah. This they didn't have a line on either side of the ball. They had a bunch of skill position, and they didn't have linemen. And we all know what happens when you don't have linemen in football. That when you can't win the trench war,
right,
you're gonna struggle, right?
That's
There will, but the crazy thing is, if you go back and you look at those games, there were most of those games, they were in the games until, you know what I'm saying, it started to fall apart. And it's usually
in the
started to fall
trenches, right.
apart in the trenches. So
Yeah.
we'll see if they address that. We see that they address it on paper, but you know, on the field, what is it going to look like?
Is
What's
it
the
gonna
finished product?
transpire?
Is it going to translate? And then we'll see. But I'm looking forward to this college football season also, because you know, we're getting EA Sports college football
College
back.
football game, yeah.
The football game is going to be released, so that's going to be big too, man. Get some of these young men a little pocket change and some
Oh yeah, that's
notoriety,
right.
I get
man.
like $600 though for it.
Yeah, that's why I said a little pocket change is better than nothing, and you get a chance to be on a game. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know, some of these guys that are being on the college football game won't make it to the league. They won't
Right.
never be on
So that's
Madden.
about, yeah, that's true.
But you got a
So,
chance to be on a game.
yeah. So that's dope, man. That's dope to be able to see your
It
likeness
is
and,
pretty
you know,
cool.
That is
like I
kind of
say,
dope though. My
your
nephew
name and
nephew
likeness
gonna see my
I
on the
mean,
name.
game. Yeah.
it's levels to this. So you
Yeah.
got on the college game. Now, hopefully, maybe one day, maybe not, but at least you made it to this level, and we'll see where you go from there. So it's levels
Thanks.
to this.
Okay,
And
I can agree with that.
I got my $600.
600.
Pow.
600.
Pow.
I'm saying my
All right.
name on there. What's called? You could get all the girls. Look at girl. I was on. You know what I'm saying? I was on the EA Sports 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you don't
I
sound
mean,
like
hey.
that.
I mean, I ain't in that game no more. I'm just saying, you know how young bucks talk. Come on, you know what, 19, 20,
You know, are you
21 year
sure he
old.
was? How old was he?
Benji sound like a 60-year-old pimp.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you sure that's him?
Benji to turn back into Cat Williams on us.
Come on, girl.
All right. So let's pivot into some real world issues that's been going on from away from the sports, real world. One thing that popped up on my timeline today that was hilarious. I don't know if some of you all have heard about it, but there was a lady who was at an award ceremony for her child, and and her child did not receive an award. So she was highly upset that she attended the award ceremony, brought the kid in there and everything, and the kid didn't get anything. So that's one of those things where, you know, I can't lie, a lot of times in school, the teachers used to give you basically what was equivalent to a participation award. So you just have some type of paper to take home and say, Mama, look, I got an award, you know what I'm saying? And but I guess the school doesn't do that, or they didn't do that today. And somebody caught the footage of her getting up, cursing out the principal, and this is all during the award ceremony in front of everybody at the school. So, you know, I feel most bad for the kid, because the kid's probably like, what's going on? But at the same time, his mama cussing folks out. If she cussing folks out in front of everybody, she cussed folks out in front of him before. So he ain't surprised by that part of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's surprised maybe because she cussed people out in front of the school, but at home he knows she be cussing.
Oh yeah, she be going in.
Facts.
But I mean, man, why would you do that?
But let me add the pieces that I went through, you know, some my little TikTok, you know what I'm saying, went down TikTok and tried to look at some videos, trying to figure it out. And there was one lady on there who said that she was in the audience, who said that she had a child at the same school. And she said that they sent out an email invite, basically inviting the kids, but then they sent out an email that morning for the kids that did not or would not receive an award. So maybe that mom did not check her email or did not get the message, did not get the notification. So she showed up with her mind on her child's going to receive something. And then when they give out all the award, this child is sitting there empty handed. It probably infuriated the mom. You know what I'm saying? That she was upset, but the thing is, there's a way to handle it. Like you go
Right.
talk to the principal or the administrators after
Right.
the ceremony's done, and then you try to, fix it from there. But you don't get up and cuss everybody out,
Mm-mm.
in front of the
I
whole crowd.
mean,
That's crazy.
some people ain't got no filter.
Clearly.
Y'all got that crazy uncle, nephew, whatever, auntie that even when you tell them, don't you be over here acting the fool, you got to put them in the back.
And you did that in front of other little kids, right?
Right.
But
Like,
some people let their
Sure.
emotions dictate their actions.
yeah.
And so you in the moment reacted based off your emotions. So you didn't care what anybody said, heard, who was there, whatever, because emotionally you was right. F that, they're not gonna make me look stupid, not my kid, da 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 da, whatever. And then you just did all of that when there, if you would have took your second or time to breathe, hopefully she would have made a more logical decision, which would have been to talk to the staffing after, send an email, talk later, whatever the case may be. But
Right.
yeah, she's
That's
definitely
crazy.
done that multiple times before.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but how do y'all feel about that? Like, we were growing up, we didn't have a bunch of participation awards, as you say. If you won something, you won something. Like on field day, we had, I think we had first through third. We had first, second, and third, and everybody else after that didn't get no ribbon. If you got fourth place,
Yeah,
fifth place, or whatever, you didn't get no ribbon. So
yeah,
only if
we,
you
we
got
don't we
first,
didn't
second, and
come up in
third,
that era. We didn't come up in
I
the
right?
I
era where
don't like that.
everybody gets something.
I don't fool with like participation awards in sports.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I'm not a fan of them.
Because at the end of the day, it's not really teaching them that they had to stand out, do great, or put more effort into something to be a certain way, which at the same time, or to be awarded. But at the same time, like my daughter was telling me one time she did an assignment where she got an A grade, like she 90% or above, right? And this other girl did the same project and she got like an 80, but she got an A because there's a curve that they placed on it. So this, my daughter's offended, like the effort I put into my paper got me an A. You did mediocre and you got an A still. So I don't like that they do that as well.
Right.
But I can say any ceremonies that because she gets awarded all the time for honor roll. Um, they don't award not nothing. Nobody ain't nobody at that award ceremony that ain't got a letter sent to their parent that said your child's getting awarded. Because they only want the people that's really awarded there. So they
Right.
ain't no participating in nothing going on at the schools that she be in. Like you
Right.
getting awarded because you really deserve this, and everybody else could go home today because y'all there's no point in being here.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what she was mad about. And if you ask me, I think if you ask her, and I'm pretty sure eventually somebody might get around to actually interviewing her, or she might put out a video herself addressing it. But I'm pretty sure that's probably what her issue was, the fact that she didn't get that notification that her child wasn't going to get an award, or if she wouldn't even came.
Okay.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
see,
And now
that's the
that's
thing.
a terrible part
They
though.
don't tell you that they're not. So if you never heard they were, then your kid ain't.
Right. They tell
That's how it
they tell
goes.
you if you're getting
No, that is
something.
really how it goes.
Right.
If there's a award ceremony that you didn't get no information on, that means your child is not outstanding in their eyes in some category.
Wh- wh-
Therefore, you should not have assumed that your child was getting an award because we did not tell you they were.
Right.
So therefore, in that moment, you assumed that you made an ass out of yourself and then you acted an ass at the school.
Yeah,
So
they'll tell you if your child, even if you're just getting something for being nice and respectful,
perfect
they'll tell
attendance,
you. Right,
uh,
perfect attendance, something.
outstanding behavior, whatever.
Right,
Like
right.
they're
They're
gonna
giving out
tell you.
participation awards.
You get a literal actual thing and it tells you the award they are getting. So if
Right.
you did not get that, you should not have assumed your child was on the roster for that.
Well, I'll say this: the school that you're talking about, that your baby girls goes to, and your children may have attended, that sounds amazing. But I'm gonna tell you straight up, I know some schools here in Texas that don't do that,
Right.
Yeah,
and
see.
everybody just has an award ceremony, and they just call your name, and you go up when they call your name, and you get whatever paperwork or you get whatever awards. A lot of times I've seen them with my older sons. I've seen them where they had award ceremonies. They call your name one time and they give you a folder with all your awards together to kind of expedite things because there's so many
Yeah,
kids.
that's
But
better because the other way
but
is long.
But they said this woman, I see some people in the comments on my post was like, well, maybe she's upset because she been doing his homework and she felt offended that he didn't get the grades.
Hey,
This
that
could
could
be
be
true.
that could
This
be
could be
all
true. She
facts
felt
too.
like that's her award. Somebody give her an award.
She been
Oh
doing the
man.
baby's
Stop playing
homework
with this
all
lady.
year,
Yeah,
and the
she was
kid
doing
come
the baby
home with a
homework
D.
and he failed. But also, it should be a thing of if your child does not receive the highest accolades, you should point that out and say, baby, you know what? You can achieve those same things that young man or that young woman did. You just have to work a little harder. You just have
But
to
if
be
everybody
honest
getting a
with them, right?
participation award, like if everybody all getting a clap on the back still, then
I mean, we're
But
trying
they're
to
gonna be
build
the
self.
they're
They're
gonna be
trying
the
to
same
build
people at work.
self-esteem.
Yeah, but they're gonna be them same folks at work saying, why she get a raise and I ain't get a raise? Because she comes to
that's
work
what they
every day.
build.
She comes to work on time. She does all her work, and you always taking off. You always slacking off.
Right.
Like you're not putting in the same effort. So why should you get the same check?
But think
It
about
just
it.
shouldn't work like
That's
that.
the mindset they're building right
Yes,
there.
that's
Yes.
what I
That
said.
type of mindset. You believe you should be making $37 an hour with Susie over here that's been over here staying up late, coming in overtime, doing projects, putting in the effort, a part of different teams, and you just coming to work and half the time you ain't even here and we found you sleeping in the break room.
Right.
Like this is what they're
Always
building.
leaving early.
Facts.
I mean,
The hours ain't
but
hourling.
yeah,
Because they always got awarded for just being here.
Yep. Well, I mean, hey, to me, I come from that generation where we didn't have participation awards, stuff like that. That stuff kind of came, after us. So I believe that the people who put in the work should be rewarded. And
facts.
if you believe otherwise, hey, I'm cool with you believing that. But I'm not gonna tell my kids that they deserve something that they didn't work for. So
I for sure ain't.
I don't want them to get a pat on the
I don't
back
need.
if they didn't do what they're supposed to do.
I agree, and sadly enough, you know, you get
That helps
scrutinized
create
for
that
that
entitled. That
in
that
today's
entitled.
time.
We are. It's bad enough
Yep,
they entitled. My
entitlement.
bad.
Yep, no
Over
entitlement. That's it.
overtime, Celtics Pacers going to overtime.
Yep,
Oh, are they?
yep.
Halliburton had
So
a wide open jumper though. He didn't take
That's
it.
what you keep looking up at. I keep wondering what you are looking up at.
yeah, we need him to focus here. We'll check back in on that a little bit later.
Yeah, I keep seeing his eyes, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what is he doing?
I should have put
yes,
my glasses on tonight, like King.
yeah, yeah. See, Benji gonna want the same paycheck later, and he ain't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So, he don't get the same credit. You know what I'm saying? But
I
yeah,
mean,
man. I
I
mean,
mean,
she her along with other parents need to understand if your child is not excelling in school, be more involved, be
right,
more forthcoming, ask questions when the teacher sends something home, pay attention to it, figure out how you can best help your child and then go from there. That's all you can actually do. Don't be one of
that's
those
Yeah,
parents that does absolutely nothing a whole year and then you're upset at the end when your child doesn't excel, or if worse, if you have a child in high school and this child is supposed to graduate and they don't because they didn't meet the requirements,
right.
and you're just finding out as the people are doing the calculations for graduation. You should have been knew that way before that.
Way before that.
yeah.
But I
So pay
mean,
attention, parents.
our parents, because I saw a study today that the bonding and the that parental, because moms are working more and more and more, that bonding level with their children is going down, right?
That's no excuse, man.
It's
Not
not.
working.
It's
You
Because
gotta
my
you
not.
gotta make
mom,
the
my mom
time. I'm
worked. My
sorry.
mom worked all the time, and she still had time to come home, cook, clean, make sure we were good,
Right.
talk to us, engage with us. So
Right.
there's no excuse for that. Like I
No,
don't want to hear that.
there's no excuse for it. But what I'm saying is that I think people are gravitating more because of their workload, that they want their kid to receive something, even when they know they haven't put in the work. I
Well,
think that
that's
mindset is being
that's
created out
called, like Trish Michelle said, that's entitlement and that's
there. Right.
delusional.
That's facts.
Yes,
So
the
you know what I'm saying?
Lulu,
Yeah,
Delulu,
they
the
tripping.
Lulu.
Yeah.
Delulu. That's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
All
I don't
right.
give my kids know I'm on them, so they don't get no breaks. So
All right. So we're gonna stay with the school theme, and we're gonna talk about prom. It's prom season, man. You know,
Right.
every year when I see the prom pictures and the prom posts that I see, I'm blown away because people put a lot of effort into these proms now. Like when we were in high school, you know, we made sure we had a nice, you know, outfit was good, you know what I'm saying? And maybe just maybe you had a decent ride or a nice ride for the night. But I see people going like to the nth degree, like spending thousands of dollars,
dollars on
literally,
the prom.
right, on
Yeah.
the clothing,
A
on
Bentley,
rent
clothing.
Bentleys, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All kinds of stuff, exotic cars and stuff. I'm like, dang, right? Like, shout out to my brother, man, for my son's graduation. Prom a couple years ago. My brother has a new Tesla. He had a new Tesla at the time, so he
Mm.
volunteered to be their chauffeur for the night. That was a good look because I wasn't finna spend no money on no exotic car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was not finna do it, and
Right.
it just crazy to me for them to pull up, drop you off, and then get in the car and leave, and that's as much as people are gonna see of it. And you're gonna spend, $300-400 a night or something like that for that car.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make good financial sense for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's not about not having the money, it's about how you spend the money, right?
Right.
So it's like, I just wasn't into that. So, but
Right.
shout out to the people who did because, hey, I'm not saying that I have any issue with it. You know what I'm saying? The prom pictures look amazing.
It's pretty
Um,
dope. I
People go
mean, they're
all out.
very nice.
And the
I mean,
proms
there's
and
a lot of dope ones.
the send-offs. Oh
Man,
my
the
God. Like,
photos.
My kid got to be going to a major college
Okay,
to
I just want to fix
the
her
prom.
hair, but yes.
Oh
to see
Lord,
these send-offs, to see family, friends, the whole neighborhood come out in support of these kids. Now that's dope. I
that's
I
like
dope.
think
that.
it really is very, very dope. And then I love how I mean everybody's excited about it. So it's
Yeah.
changed like versus just you get with your friends, you go. It's the energy that's put into it now
Mhm.
is I think our community likes it a lot too. Like it's
Well, I
something
mean,
for us to like. I think
moment to
we.
spend
I'm
money and
not. I
celebrate
mean,
your
everybody,
kid.
all the other, but I think we really kind of feel like it's time for us to step. Like, and I don't know. I feel like the parents is enjoying it just as much as the
Way
kids.
more than the kids, right?
It's OD. It's definitely OD.
It is
And
OD, like by far, because
my thing is crazy
I hope
though.
baby girl over here ain't got no aspirations.
Well, here's the thing: if the child has been doing exceptional in school and been doing all their stuff, and they on top of their game, I don't mind doing it, right? But it's
Yeah,
a lot of these kids. Let's just be honest: the parents are pouring all this money and effort into something like prom night, and the kids got terrible grades. So,
but she's not gonna have a tiger in a Maybach in the photo. Like
but that's what I'm saying.
Maybach music.
Like you're rewarding what? What are you rewarding? I understand
you
it's
wouldn't
a
even be
it's a
going to
special
prom in
night.
my world.
Yeah, I ain't.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen,
yeah,
I
for
come
us,
from a different
I mean,
pedigree.
honestly,
I ain't buying
I'm
you
suggesting
nothing.
their world too. Go play with me with them grades if you want to, and talk to me about prom.
If you got
A
bad
year
grades, you ain't even
graduating
got a cell
anything.
phone.
facts,
I'm
all
just
facts, and that's
yes.
just the way we are. We're different like that, but a lot of these parents don't
Yeah,
uh don't follow that code, so they just they go along to get along, and a lot of these parents too, they do it because they want to show the world, they want to post
yeah.
it,
Their
they
babies,
want
all of
they
that.
want to
Yeah.
go viral. You know what I'm saying? They
That
want to show
viral,
everybody
that
what they can
clout,
do.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I mean, years from now, excuse me, years from now, these kids will have pictures and have video and footage of them having a great night, and
They're gonna
it'll
be
be dope.
dope.
It'll be dope. So, yeah,
I
shout out to
mean,
them.
I enjoy looking at it. I'm not gonna lie. I like to scroll through and see the how they put together and
Yeah,
put that shit on. I like to
yeah.
see
My
I
it.
ain't give
prom,
you nothing if your grades bad. I'm sorry. That's where I stand.
No,
my
I
prom
just
night.
like to go look at it on social media. I'm not
Oh,
like.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now my prom night was dope though. I don't know about y'all. My prom night
I,
was dope.
I never
I
went.
I, I had a whole photo shoot. It wasn't mine. You know what I'm saying? The young lady I went to the prom with. she had a photographer at the house. So when we got there, they were taking pictures of her getting ready and getting her makeup done. And this was in the 90s. So this was like ahead of its time. Like it was crazy to me because I didn't know that we had a photographer there. I just went, I showed up to the door with my tux on and my, in the corsage.
Shopping in a thumbtack.
Hey man,
Did you pull up? Hold on. Did you pull up in the blue ride?
No, I'm in the Cadillac. My dad said you can drive the Cadillac tonight, so I drove the Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled up in the lack. You know what I'm saying? Everything was amazing. Pull up, they had a whole.
Did Pop have it on some white walls and some spokes or what?
White wall spokes. It was all white. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter guts.
Yeah.
You know how they do. Yeah. Yeah, all leather interior. Yeah. So it was on point, but my prom was dope. So actually, I went to 2 proms.
Okay.
I see you.
Yeah. I showed out a little bit.
Pop your thing.
Hey.
I didn't go to prom. I didn't even know really about a prom.
I didn't care for it, and then I was supposed to go. And then somebody's daddy, since y'all remember I had my child at the time, decided he wanted to serve me custody papers. So,
wow,
the money went for custody.
Yeah, Benji had the right response. Benji had the right response. Oh Lord,
he lost.
That's wild. That's wild. Well, I tell you what. Since I went to a couple of proms, I went to enough for both of y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And then I went to one my junior year, so I got y'all covered. You know what I'm saying? Right. I actually went to 3 proms.
Okay, so you just were over seasoned.
Yes.
So you did go for it.
No, you went for all 3 of us. Yeah.
So I'm saying I went. I got us covered. I want
the peanut butter guts prom though. I want that one.
I know the ride was fly. Peanut butter guts on the white walls and the Hunter spokes.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my pops. Shout out to my pops for looking out.
Yeah.
All right. So it's also, when prom season rolls around, then it's followed by college graduation season that follows right behind that, right? That's big too. Shout out to all the college graduates because we know, attaining a college degree is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever years, however many years it took you to get it, like you got it. Right. And it's a big deal. So shout out to the college graduates. And then
my sister graduated today.
Shout out to your sister, man. That's big because like I said, it's a lot of work you put in, a lot of time and effort, dedication. Yeah. So shout out to them. And then after college graduation, then we have the high school graduation. So shout out to the high school graduates that are coming up, entering adulthood. It's a different world.
Look at him.
It's a different world.
It is, man. Who was it? I seen that someone posted they're so happy to be graduating, only to be hit by these damn bills.
Right. And after high school, life get real.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does.
They're so excited and they don't even know.
And the thing I hope is that we're preparing our kids for that real world, because it ain't no joke.
That's for sure.
Giving them an award for nothing ain't preparing them, but we ain't gonna go back into that.
Yeah, that's the whole
the participation awards. But shout out to all the high school graduates, man. Y'all prepare yourselves to go into the real world or go on to college or trade school, whatever you do in your life.
Right.
Just make sure you make the best of it and keep pushing, and and just know that you should lean on your support system. So whatever your support system is,
creating mentally strong kids by not giving them everything. Let them figure some stuff out on their own.
You got to say no, man. You can't figure it all out for them all the time. You got to let them fall a little bit. I
got a question though. How do you do that with a kid? Because Patricia, you have a daughter like that. Mm-hmm. And I have a son like this. How do you manage that? Because that's difficult when your kid hadn't done much of anything wrong. Good grades.
I'm gonna tell you this because I have older ones, and I have my older son. He was he was like you all are talking about.
Mhm.
Never got into trouble, never had any of those issues, right?
Mhm.
And I'm telling you now, in high school, they might not do anything wrong, but they're
Right.
gonna have some challenges.
Challenges,
I was
right?
gonna
They're
say
gonna have some
something's
challenges.
gonna happen still,
Yeah,
and you're
Right.
they're gonna
gonna
have
have
some
to
challenges.
allow certain, like, she doesn't do anything, but she's had challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
so it's not for me. Some of the things I really do just sit back and kind of I'm watching though.
yeah,
Like, but I'm letting her figure it out and tell me, okay, today, how did you address it? Okay, well, what happened today after you addressed it the way you addressed it yesterday? And
Mhm.
so that's still giving her that ability to have to deal with certain things and experience stuff. So we might not get the other kid that's this or that, where you didn't have to be a disciplinary all the time. But
yeah,
these are still real life situations. She gonna deal with people
You
that's
got to
gonna
deal with it,
challenge
right?
her in different ways. So sometimes I gotta let her stress out a little bit behind it and feel a little anxiety, feel a little
Right.
emotion, feel a little hurt. And so she has to learn how to deal and sift through those emotions. So I have to sit back a little bit, because if I'm always like, who did it? Because she know I'm like, who did it?
Right.
Like, what's up? What's the story?
yeah,
What's really going on? And
Right.
but I'd like to let her, and after,
Figure
if
it
I
out.
keep hearing about it and I'm like, okay, what's really going on now? Like,
Right.
what's up? And
yeah.
I could
You
dig
got to
that.
have
I could get
some
that.
supervised problem solving, as I call it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, let them solve the problem on their own.
that's
But
a
like
good,
Trisha
yeah,
Michelle said, keep an eye on it. You know what I'm saying? Inquire about it to see, how they handle it, to see if they need your assistance on, anything.
right.
But sometimes, and it's also difficult, we all have older kids and we all have had to watch our kids fail. And
Mm,
a
Right.
lot of times, as parents, to watch your child fail at anything is one of the most hurtful things as a
It's
parent,
tough.
because,
Right.
like,
yeah,
it's tough, but you have to allow them that space to fail, because, especially under your watch, because you can help them navigate it, right?
Right.
Versus when they get out into the world on their own completely, and then they're failing out of your sight, then what I'm saying, it's like they on their own completely, and it's a little bit different then. So you want
Mhm.
them to have some failures under your sight line, so you can help them navigate it, so that when they get out there on their own, they know how to
You know how to
attack
navigate.
it. Right,
Right. I
yep.
agree.
right,
I agree.
right.
My son's
And
spoiled. He think he's supposed to get everything he asks for. So he
well,
wants
Well, and
tech. He
that's
wants
what
the new tech in on the new PS5 system. So
and he's a sore
whatever.
I,
loser.
Nah, he honestly be kicking everybody butt when
Oh,
he
okay.
get.
I was about to say you mad.
I think all
Nah,
of our
he
kids
done
are kind of
mastered the
spoiled.
freaking Mortal Kombat already, and
Yeah,
he's trying to move on to the
I agree,
next
Ken.
thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think all of our kids are pretty spoiled. So,
yeah,
but again, we just have to allow them that space to, make decisions on their own, and kind of help them along. So,
right.
Yeah,
but yeah, the next thing up is these kids, after all these graduations and proms, the rest of the kids and even us, it's time for summer. It's summertime. So
Right.
kids get out of school, the weather's changing, everything's transforming in the world. And summertime for us when we were younger, it used to be, a big deal. Now summertime is like, we still gotta go to
because
work.
by the time they blink, they back at school.
Well,
True.
yeah, that's for us, but for them, see, time might be moving a little slower, because when we were younger, time didn't move that fast for the summer. Like, we
That's true.
had we had a lot of fun, but now time flies in the summer for us because we're working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but for them, I encourage all parents, especially if you have younger children, to find them something to do,
and you
I
gotta be
because
agree.
eating it up.
I
too
agree.
many of these
Some
parents.
beneficial for sure.
I
Yes,
gotta
too
be
many of these
busy.
parents just had these kids, just let them roam and let them do all this stuff. And like, we have seen footage of kids, especially in the summertime, riding around, checking folks' doors on their car, breaking in cars and stuff, because they just bored. And they just,
Yeah,
allow their friends to talk them into doing stupid stuff. And the parents are just like, well, he ain't bothering me, so what I'm saying, just let him go or let her go. And she over, so and so house, and she ain't been over so and so house in hours, because she over here with these 4 boys. And man, you
Hmm.
gotta watch these kids.
And they buck wild. Yeah,
I
Trust me,
know
I
it's
would
verify.
crazy.
listen. I was one of them kids, so I want you to know.
Yeah, take it from Benji.
Yes, we had fun. I ain't gonna even say that on air with your about your
No, don't
daughter
do
like
that.
that. I ain't gonna do
Don't
it.
do that.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm
We're
sorry.
not gonna call it fun.
Yeah.
You had unsupervised
Yeah.
actions.
At that time. But yeah. Yeah. And yeah, just letting your dog. Shout out to the pops though. That was
No,
like
don't you shout out to no pop's daughter.
no. Shout out to the pops who knew what we was up to and wasn't having it.
Oh,
Shout
thought
out
you was
to you,
about to.
dad. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the daddies out there that
Yeah.
knew what us little managed boys was up to and was
Take one
like,
to know one.
nah, fam, nah. Get away from my door. I remember several times, yes, several phone calls. Don't call this house
I wish a little boy. I would have been
unless you
like,
say, may I speak to? I remember one time I called this girl house. I worked hard to get the digits, but she had a mom and a dad in the house, and I didn't know. So I called, typical fashion, and Pops was like, listen here, son. When you call this house, you say, may I speak to? But first, you address the person that you ask the phone. Hello, Mr. So-and-so. May I speak to? And he hung up the phone.
yeah, because at the end of the day, it's still no.
Yes. And his daughter was fine. Trust me, in them days. And we was all trying to get at her. And he was the reason we couldn't. And I shout out to y'all dads that are like that. As I grow, I learn to appreciate y'all even more, especially when you got girls. Shout out to y'all.
Mhm.
Shout out to y'all.
But I can say now, there's a lot of stuff. If you are paying attention to your emails as a parent from the school and the district, they let you know a lot of stuff way ahead of time before summer ends of all kind of programs, things you can get into. I know my daughter's school has sent something like even the police out here has like a program for kids that are interested in that career later in the summer. There's a program where they can really come in and be a part of. But then at the same time, what is it? What's the purple gym that does the Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness, yeah.
Yeah.
They are so 13 to 8 to 19 during the summer can go to the gym for free.
Yeah.
So they can go, they can work out and get their workout on and get something going on. Because my son definitely used to want to go to the gym when he was younger. So, let him go play basketball, shoot around in there. Like there's a bunch of stuff they could end up doing. So there's things to do, but parents have to be just as invested in making sure their kids are busy. Shoot, and I had cameras going off in my house. I know what's going on.
Yes, Lord.
Yep.
Yes,
So, parents, make sure your kids are on point in the summer and make sure they're utilizing their summer to get a little rest, but make sure it's beneficial to them, whatever they're doing, and make sure they stay out of trouble because
put a tracking device on them.
Well,
I mean, not just that, just don't listen to the stupid stuff. Like kids, just think about it. I mean, if you think about how you was as a kid, and if you was slick in any way or knew you was lying about something, just stop just because you working or you tired.
You don't think you're
okay, yeah, baby, okay.
And we know. It takes one to know one, right? They say.
So, hey, like they said, apple don't fall far from the tree.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. So yes. And I ain't falling for that little line. You did it, so why don't you let them? No, I know. No.
Yeah.
I'm shutting it down.
In the words of Sean Carter, Hove did that, so you don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that, so you don't have to go through it. So I'm telling you, so I'm telling you, it's not what that is. Not the move. So don't do it. Right?
Don't do it.
All right. So speaking of not to move, we definitely have to dive into this whole Diddy situation, man. Like this is the big piece of what we want to talk about tonight. Because there's so many layers to it, man. And the first thing I want to point out is if you notice, Hollywood has been super quiet about this whole Diddy thing. You haven't heard anybody, all these actors, actresses, and all these people that he rubs elbows with that go to the parties that are his friends. Everybody's been quiet. Ain't nobody said nothing.
But didn't they do that? Did a lot of people do that with R. Kelly?
No. People were coming to R. Kelly's defense.
Yeah.
You had people speaking out whether they were for or against it. in this situation, ain't nobody saying nothing.
Well, do you think that R. Kelly kind of set the tone for many people that jumped up initially to take, someone's defense to now be like, look, we're not too sure anymore, so we're gonna be quiet because we
Well,
don't really know what is going
it could
on here.
it
Right.
could be that, but it
But then
also
the
could be
other
the
side
fact.
is the other one
Yeah,
that
it
you got to
also
say
could
right
be
now.
the fact that, like they pointed out, Diddy has 200 plus cameras in his house, and he had all these parties, and all this stuff was going
Yes.
on. And he has
Well,
all this
Diddy knew what
He
footage.
he
got
was
all
doing
y'all on camera.
What's
because
what I'm saying? He got
And
all these
he paid
celebrities.
some people off. I wouldn't
On
doubt.
he has
Lawyer wise
footage.
too.
He has footage on all these people. I kid
Right.
you
well, at
not.
the same
I'm
time,
sure
Diddy
of it.
takes everybody's cameras, so with their phones. So don't nobody got footage of, but Diddy could disclose whatever he got on his cameras about
Right.
whoever.
But
But
that's
So
what I'm
I
saying.
do
he
agree.
got video of y'all.
They confiscated the cameras, then they
Yeah.
confiscated the
Yeah.
equipment, so they have it. They have the footage.
Oh, they
The
have it now.
feds
That's
have
right.
the
They sure
footage.
do. They sure
Yeah,
did. They
the
sure
feds
did.
have the footage. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm
They raided
saying.
his house. Yeah.
A lot of these
Oh,
people
they
are
praying
quiet.
they don't become a part of none
Yes.
of this.
Yes.
I
So
forgot.
it's
Now
like,
that's definitely the point. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
Somebody
Yeah.
else's booty is in the air.
Well,
hey,
yeah, man. Listen, they got some wild stuff out there because social media, social media ain't got no filter. It's a wild place. They got all kind of stuff floating through the air right now.
He
That's
just
like,
got sued again.
I
well,
mean, he gonna get sued.
he
He gonna keep
yeah,
getting sued.
he's
Yeah.
continually getting lawsuits, whether it's sexual assault, all kinds of stuff going on. And I actually got a chance to watch something really interesting. And I sent to you all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
this TMZ the downfall of Diddy. It's like
Yeah.
an hour special. I saw it on
Yeah. I've seen
Tubi.
it. Yeah.
So if you have Tubi, well, we all have access to Tubi because it's free. So if you
Right.
have access to Tubi, go ahead and download that, check that out.
Did you
It'll
watch
give you
it?
I
yeah,
watched it. Yeah.
I watched the
Oh,
whole
I didn't
thing.
watch
It gives you some insight on, how everything started to unfold. Basically, when Cassie,
Yeah.
sued him in the civil court, like that kind of started the ball rolling on a
it. Oh
lot of
yeah.
this stuff. And he messed up when he didn't pay her, and it became public. And
Right.
then then he went back and eventually paid her, because
Right.
at
Mhm.
first, remember, he told her he ain't paying her. She
Right.
she
Yeah.
she just can do what she do. And then, like 2 days later, or whatever it was, 24
He
hours
paid her
later,
off.
he
Yeah.
paid her
Yeah.
off. And now
Yeah.
Right.
it's already bad because it's already hit the news.
We done read
Everybody's
it.
everybody's
Now
yeah.
there are some people because in that movie, that little piece, some people were paid off, but there was a Caucasian woman who was like, "Nah, I don't want anything," and she's talking out, speaking out, saying a whole bunch of stuff, and it's interesting because everybody want their bread, but some people are like, "Nah, I want you to fall." So
Well, I think,
Mhm.
some people don't have much to lose.
right,
So, so it's one of those things where, like, Aubrey O'Day from
Mhm.
the girl group, what were they, Identity Kane,
Identity
Kennedy
that
came.
was,
Kane, yeah,
and he kicked her out the group. So, like,
right.
she's been saying this type
She's
of stuff
she's
for the
rogue, like
well
she would
well
do anything, say
well, my
anything now.
thing is, she's been saying all of this for 5+ years. She's
Yeah,
been
Every
saying this,
and no one listened. No one
and no
wanted to
one
listen.
right,
listens.
right,
So this isn't new for her, and they have her on the special as well. And she's been saying, like, I've been saying this for over 5 years. I've been
right.
telling y'all this, and nobody listened. Now all this stuff is starting to come out. Now people are starting to listen, and now they're starting to go back and say, okay, well, when you see pictures like this, when you see the footage of Diddy with Justin Bieber, it's like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
now we
Then you
kind of look
see
at that.
little clips of how he acted on camera because everything's recorded.
Now that one right
Now
there
you
hurts
see,
right there. That one
yeah, now
hurts.
you,
I know there's a
yeah.
story. I know there is.
Yeah, because Usher
Yeah,
Usher kind of talked about it a little bit when
yeah,
Mhm.
when he was living with Diddy,
About how
and
his
Diddy,
mama snatched him up out of there.
well,
yeah.
yeah,
Because
Diddy
it
Diddy
was
did
totally crazy sexual. Even Usher's first album with Diddy, for his age, was over the top sexual.
well, it
And
wasn't even that. It was the fact of Usher was living in the house with Diddy.
mhm,
He was taking Usher to clubs, he was
mhm.
taking Usher
Mhm.
to all these other places, and Usher was like 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
He was
And
exposed to a
that's right.
lot.
So Usher was like, he was exposed to way too much, way too soon, and basically it warped his mind.
Right.
right? It damaged him severely. So that's when his mom came in and swooped him out and, took him away. And,
Yeah.
luckily for him, what I'm saying, he was able to continue because you look at somebody like Justin Bieber, he stayed hot, he stayed relevant for a while, but then he slowly but surely kind of fell off. So it's that balance of those two were kind of groomed the same by Puffy a little bit, but Usher still continued to rise and do his thing, and Justin Bieber kind of fell off.
Right.
So, but I mean, those are just two examples of that. But then you look at
Many artists affected by Diddy,
well,
the Diddy
when you
effect.
when you look at when you look at it's not funny, but when you look at Diddy's artist history and you mention names like Biggie Smalls, dead, Craig Mack, dead, Shine, went to jail, went to prison for a decade, Black Rob,
Mhm.
dead, G Dep in jail, prison for multiple, a whole decade, Loon, jail.
Yeah.
People can say that these dudes did this stuff on their own and they went, but you understand that while they were under Diddy, no problems.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as they left Bad Boy, problems. Just like they talk
Props.
about
Right.
with Biggie Small. Biggie, there's stories out there that Biggie was, planning on leaving Bad Boy and do his
Right.
own thing, right? With Junior Mafia and Lil Kim, like take his artists and his guys and Lil Kim and go, do their own thing. Faith Evans, they are gonna do their own record label. And lo and behold, guess what happens?
Mm-hmm.
The whole East Coast West Coast thing, and then Biggie ends up dying.
Right.
So it's like, and then there's still a lot of mystery behind that because still to this day they don't know who killed Biggie.
Right.
I mean,
It's crazy, right?
I'm just, the dude got a lot of power,
I would
a lot
agree.
of money.
And I think some of the people with Hollywood is quite a lot of people because he paid a lot of people
I
off.
think he got a
They
couple
earned
cops
their pay.
too.
I
I
I
mean,
think
think
Biggie
I think
heavily.
people are afraid.
Yeah,
Like he
that
he
man
he
they
was
on
threat.
the
running
cameras
right
wilding
there.
out.
Ooh, Lord.
Well, you got to remember when Cassie and him broke up and Cassie dated what's his name?
His bodyguard or whatever it
No,
was.
Cassie
No, no.
dated dang, what's his name? He used to be with Kanye all the time. I'll think of his name. But she dated Kid Cudi and he threatened Kid
Oh,
Cudi
he threatened Kid
and
Cudi.
he
Yeah,
threatened Kid Cudi to blow his car up, and then next thing you know,
his
Kid
car blew
Cudi's
up.
car gets blown up.
Hmm.
So
Like,
these are mysterious things that are occurring that people are starting to research. Those stories are starting to resurface and people are starting
right.
to talk about it again, and it's like they're starting to put all this stuff together, and it's like
And Kim Porter need to be reopened. The case needs to be reopened. I'm just saying because she was gonna come out with a tell-all that she didn't even really want Diddy to know about,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, money, power is a crazy thing. Most people think to fall, you got to go, to the very, very, very bottom. But sometimes you can be took up so high that you see all of these great things, and it can warp you as well. So, I mean,
well,
he's a
it did.
billionaire, so that's
Yeah,
a lot of bread.
yeah,
That's a lot of
well, his
bread.
what is his son's name? Well, his son is Sean, whatever his
King
son,
Kong.
King Kong. His mama spoke out too about it now,
Mm,
finally, and she said it was like it brought back some traumas from her,
right.
just seeing Cassie's video and just knowing what
oh
she
you
went through,
you
and
mean
so
wasn't it Misa
yeah,
Hilton
Misa.
Brim?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
Misa.
that is not King Kong. That's just I think Justin's
Yeah,
mom.
yeah, there we go.
That's
Justin,
Justin's
Justin,
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin. Yeah. So
So
Justin's mom, she was speaking out. So it's just like
Hmm.
this man been doing this for a very long time. And there's so many different speculated stories you can come up with. I've even heard the storyline where they're saying that he's gay and he uses beating up on women to make him feel like a man,
Hmm.
to have masculine, he's powering over somebody or
Right.
just in general. So I don't know. Who knows? This man's clearly sick, but this is no excuse. I don't care what help you need to seek. but this is not okay, like in any way whatsoever. What's coming out, all of it needs to come out.
Right.
It needs to all unravel. The man need to go down. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Kelly
think
went
he just
down. He need to go down.
I think it's just a power trip, right? He
Hmm.
has amassed this power, this influence over people over these decades, and he's reached a level where he felt like, he's untouchable.
Yeah,
Where for decades he has been literally like
I agree.
I
nobody's
agree.
people have tried to, put him in jail, try to take him to court and do all these things, and he keeps wiggling out of the situation
The
and
statute of
staying free.
limitations reached, and I was like,
Yeah. So he paid Cassie off so she can't do certain things and she can't say certain things.
Right. I'm
Um,
sure there's a hush in that
yeah,
money she was given because she was asked to comment on the video and she said no comment.
yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm
So
she
sure
yeah.
can't. Yeah,
there's a
I
gag
think
order or
neither one
something
of them
attached
can
to it.
speak each other. I know for sure Diddy can't even say her name.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and the video was crazy. So, you see clearly what's going on. And then, the crazy thing is that, and then after the video surfaces a couple of days later, then he posts a video of
Right.
himself. You know what I'm saying? I had to post that.
Shut
Everybody,
up! I did not need to look up and see that. I looked up
yeah,
and was like, "Who is this man?"
y-
Hey,
yeah,
did you see Desi Banks skit though on it?
Oh,
yeah.
he's under fire.
But see, here's the thing. He made this apology video, and it's like, what are you apologizing for, dude? Like, it's already done. Like, you
We know what
already,
he's apologizing
Well,
for. Y'all know
you
what
know
he's
what that
apologizing for.
is.
well, we
Right.
know it's damage control,
Right.
but
The nigga's
it's like,
sorry there was a video. That's it.
it's already done, bro. Like, what the world has seen, the destruction that you've caused
Right.
firsthand, and what you did to that lady, and like, there's no apology that can undo that, right?
Here's
That
Now
can
let
remove that from our minds.
here's
right
the
because we
thing. Here's my
know if you
question.
did it once, you probably done it several other times.
There's no maybe on that. He's done that many a times. And here's
Right.
my thing though. Is there no requirement for an establishment to see such footage and to never report it?
Well, I know at hotels everything's confidential, so like they can't
But you got
release
a
it.
woman getting kicked in her
I
head,
I agree too, though.
bases
But
thrown at
even with
her.
that, I would imagine because he
There's
probably
no way they
rented
didn't
out
know. There's
that
no way
whole
there were no
thing.
reports or called in of noise or something.
I
There's
mean, he
no
probably
way.
rented out that whole hotel.
Diddy probably
Well,
had to
Probably
pay
at
them.
I'm sure he's at the very, very, very top floor. And nobody else is around.
I think he
Obviously,
paid them, and
right.
whoever he paid was probably gone, and somebody probably stumbled across that footage, or
I think they just
um,
went to his house and got it. Is
somebody,
what
yeah,
I would say.
somebody knew the date and time, and they had them go and pull that footage after the fact, many years after the fact, and now that, like we were saying, that stuff is just starting to unravel, like
Which begs it.
all the
Go ahead,
bones
Kim.
that you
Sorry.
buried. People know the location of those bones, and they starting to dig up all this stuff.
True.
Right.
I mean, and then now that you say that, it makes you think about Cassie's statement. She did say the
Mhm.
date and where and what.
Hmm.
So, I mean,
Hmm.
technically, at that point, all they have to do if they want to know, hey, did this really happen? And then
Mhm.
there goes your footage, stupid.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I got a question though for y'all because this came up in the chat and I thought it was interesting. Not saying this is Cassie, but what do you do about the women who refuse to leave a guy with that much power, but actually think that the abuse is love in a way, in a crooked, crazy type of way? What do you do in that sense? I don't know, Cassie. I don't know that, so I can't
You
say
can't
that.
do anything. Like,
Right. But
it's
what
just
do
a
you
toxic.
say about that situation that's like that when a woman, per se, feels that that's the type of love she should receive?
well, I think you should look at Kim's friend that's speaking out.
Mhm.
She knew or she heard about situations through phone conversations, but at the same time, you got somebody that believes that this is her everything.
Right.
So you can call as many hotlines and try to jump in and like there if this person isn't pressing charges or reiterating the same thing, it's pointless. Like
Yep.
this
Right.
person is a victim and mentally the warfare that's taking place there that she's under, like there's no getting that person out of there until that person really is seeing something. So therapy, psychiatry, all of that, but you can't even get them to that level. So it's tough. It's tough. And then at
Right.
the same time, you got a system where when they do tell or they try to say that this person is doing this and that to me, well, technically this hasn't really occurred yet. So you can damn near you got to die just for the actual cops to
Somebody to
stop
actually.
something from
Right.
happening.
Right.
There's a situation that just occurred not too long ago. I heard about with the kid that was getting abused by his dad, the baby on a treadmill. He was like having his kid run on a treadmill, and the mom had reported it so many times. You report stuff, and they just don't
They don't
take
say
nothing
nothing. Right.
serious too. At the
Because
same
it's not
time,
a.
so
They don't consider it a crime, so it's
the
not
system is
a
beyond
thing.
flawed. And they shake stuff off at the same time. So in the world where you're supposed to feel protected and to feel like you got somewhere to go, you're not really protected at the same time. So what do you do?
Right.
Like
And then to leave that type of money to go back to a regular life,
he's got
for
all
some
power. He knows
people
what he's
is
doing.
they'd rather take the abuse. I'm going to say this because I saw it personally in my own household growing up. It's amazing what a person would deal with even when at the risk of losing a particular livelihood.
But at
It's
the same time,
right,
they were, and I'm not speaking to the situation in general, like their lifestyle or their ability to have their own lifestyle, their own money, their own way of things is taken. So you need me. They do this on purpose. It's part
right,
of the warfare.
right,
Like
Yep.
they need to hold this insane amount of power over you, and you need me. Leave
right.
me if you want to. You can't go nowhere.
You
You're
ain't
not
gonna get this
without me.
nowhere
You
else.
and they really start to believe that
Right,
I'm nothing. I got nothing. I can't go nowhere. My babies is being taken care of by this
right.
man.
My
You know,
mama, my
whatever.
family,
Like
my cousin, nieces, nephews,
they
whatever.
they do things on purpose. I'm paying for your mama's house. Leave if you want to. Like
Right.
it's they know this person knows what they're doing
That's
to
a
keep
fact.
you where
Yeah.
you are.
That's a fact.
And
And and
multiple.
and and it's crazy because seeing it up close and personal. Of course, I was young, but seeing it, I didn't understand it then. But
Yeah.
then again, the ramifications of it, of course, in my case, was the death, right? But it's
Right.
amazing. It just it's crazy to watch it. And then now seeing the behavior 20, 30, 30 some years later now and seeing it still out there and seeing those ideas, those concepts still out there, it just opens up a different perspective for you because you've seen it before, so you know the mindset behind it now, and it's crazy
Well,
to watch it.
you think you know the mindset behind it,
Right,
but the only people who know the mindset behind it are the people who have experienced it, who have
right,
experienced the
Absolutely.
abuse.
Yeah.
And when you talk to the people who have experienced the abuse, then you can kind of get a glimpse into the fact of it's not
right.
that easy. Because I used to be of the mindset, well, he's beating you, he's doing this,
Just leave.
why don't you just leave?
Right,
And I've been
Mhm.
told countless times it's not that easy, and
right,
It's
they had
not.
to explain to me, like Tristan Michelle said, the mental warfare and the toxic environment that they had become used to, that they
right.
had
Mhm.
grown accustomed to, and it became a way of life. And it's not just women, it's men too
Men
that
too.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
experience that. Like we joke about it all the time. Well, she put your tires on flat and you went back.
Hmm.
She broke your game console and you went back. That's toxic behavior, man. And you
Right.
can't allow people to do those type of things because, even for a guy, if she slashed your tires, next it might be your throat.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying?
That's a fact.
She
Absolutely.
breaking your game console. Next time it could be something, what I'm saying, on a much higher level.
Right,
So when
There's
people
a
start displaying these tendencies and these actions, and they say things, you have to
mhm.
believe them. If they make these threats, you have to believe
yeah,
them
You have
and the
to.
threats that they're making, and act upon it at that time before you get too deep. Because once you get so deep caught up in it, like Trisha Michelle said, it becomes that mental warfare. And now you're not only imprisoned physically, but it's also, most importantly, mentally and emotionally
Yeah.
imprisoned.
Right.
And
And
I,
that's
I
a
like
tough
that you
space.
mentioned men too, because I watched a video earlier today where a dude stood up, and I guess he was arguing like with this girl. She's sitting on the couch, whatever may have transpired, but he's got his hands behind his back while he's talking to her. Like he's purposely like, my hands is out the way, like whatever. She stands up, he's still hands behind his back, just grabbing like the other hand, like just talking to her, like whatever. She socked the mess out of this man, two
Mm,
pieced him to
mm,
where he staggered, hit the bookshelf, and like collected himself real quick.
mm.
Like, and then the comments was just sickening.
Right.
Oh, she did that was a cold two piece. What's her act? That's kind of sexy. What?
I mean, social
Yeah.
media is a wild place,
Just as
man.
much
People
as
get
he would
to
have been under the
really
jail
express
or
what
whatever.
they think.
But
Like
this was the
it's
thing
not
though.
cool.
But
It's
this was the
not
thing
cool.
though, like if this was long before social media, like this was in the 80s, chicks was beating dudes up
Yeah,
and
this
it
Yeah.
ain't
was
new.
sexy.
We
You know what I'm
just seeing
saying?
video
Like,
footage now. This ain't new.
yeah, it's like I said, it's just a public forum for us to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? And people glamorize it because we've seen it in movies, we've seen it in,
Hmm.
in videos. So people glamorize it, but it's not a glamorous thing, and it often turns deadly. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of guys don't think, well, this woman would kill me or this woman would do something to me to harm me, seriously. But man, these women,
They're
these women
savage.
are
They're
savages too.
savage.
It ain't just the dudes out here.
Monsters Ball will tell you that these women's is some
When your
savages.
mind passes the limit of stopping you from doing things to where you just don't care. It's male or female, it don't matter. A female
Yep.
will
Right.
kill you too.
Yep.
Right.
Mentally, if they have the ability to do so, drawn under whatever circumstances it may be. Everybody has their, you watch Snapped. If you don't think so, y'all better watch Snap because it's a lot of women on there.
Yep.
Like
Snap.
you, why it can happen.
Everybody has
It
a
does
breaking point.
happen,
I mean,
Yeah.
and
Al
yes,
Green got
everybody,
grits. Got
everybody
grits
does.
thrown on him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
Lionel
everybody has
Richie
a
used to
breaking
get
point.
hands put on him consistently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has a
I,
breaking point. So
I'll tell
Speaking
you
of
the
top,
story. One of the most frightening things I ever seen in my life. I came home from school one day, and I walk into blood everywhere, and I walk in like I don't know nothing, and I see my stepdad sitting in the chair, like stabbed up. I just went and left, walked to my room, and was like, it's like, how do you process that? But
yeah,
I've
you going through a
seen it.
state of shock. Yeah.
Right. So, like, the glimpse you catch is you see the kitchen full of blood, him
Mm-hmm.
sitting at the table, like blood, like squabble, knives, everything go, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, and because I've always been a visual kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I walked through that. I still remember it. And it's like every one of those pictures that I saw, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I can literally point out what the oven looked like, how the kitchen was formed,
Yeah.
how he was sitting at the table, where like it's like this whole visual just comes to you. But this
Mm.
is a couple like this. So imagine if it's just somebody randomly from the streets, and you got these type of issues. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
yep. And for Diddy, it's funny. He used to have, he used to say more money, more problems. But for him, it turned into more money, more problems you create for yourself.
That's
Because
fact.
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. And he has created all these issues for himself. And unfortunately for him, as they say, the chickens are coming home to roost.
That is a
So
fact.
Mm.
all of the stuff he did in the past that he thought he was able to sweep under the rug, that thought he was able to get away with, that as they always say, the truth comes to the light. So
But none of the dark
um
comes to the light.
yeah, so a lot,
Always.
yeah, and we was talking before the show, and I said, the stuff that Diddy's doing now sounds like the things that people were saying Suge was doing back in the 90s. So now you look at it differently and think, you know, you thought Suge was the monster. Now you kind of see
You
Diddy
seeing
in a
who
different
the
light.
well,
The
both of them
thing
were
is, there
monsters.
probably was multiple monsters, but then
Yeah,
there's
both of them were
monster
monsters. Yeah,
mastermind
Yeah,
is Diddy still.
yeah.
right.
Like,
Diddy
Well, I
was
mean,
able to
Suge
do it for
still
the
did.
long period.
yeah,
Suge
that's
in
what I'm
jail
saying.
for running over somebody.
There
Like
was
they both
it
was
was a whole
wild.
bunch of monsters. Like, I mean, you
Right,
got to think about it. Like they did say, like, you know, if you're hanging around certain people, you're not too far from something about them that you're
right,
similar in some
right,
type of way.
right.
Y'all share some type of same action belief or something. Like, so I'm pretty sure they all had some type of little monster in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, I think it goes back to, like we said, that power. You
Yeah,
know, when you get money and power and influence, like, I don't care who you are, um, you know, it
money,
doesn't
power,
change you into
respect.
somebody who that you weren't. It just exponentially, you know, puts out the person that you were already.
Right,
So you
right.
already had
Yeah.
these type of
Glorifies it.
things going.
Right,
Yeah, you already had these type of things, seeds in your mind and in your heart, the way to treat people. But now you have just
Hmm.
cause because you have the money, the power, and the influence. So
right,
now you can really do it, and you know you feel invincible like Diddy did. And you know, hey, you know it's coming. The chickens are coming home to roost. But I also want to point out two other things before we wrap up. Diddy was with J Lo, and I'm thinking,
mm-hmm.
okay, is what J
Yeah.
Lo's not going to say anything, of course, but
No.
you know, was he treating her like this? Then you know, also he was with many other women, but Kim Porter, you know, rest in peace. But you know, I mean, what was the book gonna say? You know, like Tristan Michelle mentioned the book, the tell-all book she had. Like, what was that book gonna say? And then you have Cassie, of course. So, you know, and then in between, he had many other women that he dealt with, and some of those women have had similar issues. You know what I'm saying? That have similar
Probably
things
paid
that
them
they've
off.
said about him. So, you know, yeah.
Pay them off. Shush up. Don't you say a word. Here's 20. It's 20 mil. Go on about your business. Don't you? If you ever say something, yada yada yada, I'm coming for you. You know I can get it done. Don't ever
Well,
say nothing about it.
a lot of these people sign NDAs because they want
Right,
part of the
Yeah.
lifestyle.
right,
They
right,
want
Right.
the money, so they sign the
right,
NDA. You know, a lot of these women and men are here sleeping with each other,
right.
and you'll never know it simply because people's got
Signing
stacks of
agreement.
NDAs. They got
Right.
stacks of
Yeah.
NDAs everywhere, so these
And for some,
people can't talk.
right. And for some people, going back to a mediocre lifestyle after you done experienced what the life is having 30 million, 100 million, 20, 50, 60 million, going back to living that one bedroom apartment, just like that normal life, nah, they ain't feeling that. And so they're willing to risk it no matter what. And if it means I gotta let so and so abuse me so that I can do this, and eventually he gonna pay me off, I'd rather take the payoff and take the abuse. And some that's sadly that's how some of it is.
I don't know when this was, but Diddy was at the top of his minutes right here. Because
That's
for him to
ugly.
cut his hair
That's
like this,
ugly as hell. That's
he,
ugly as hell.
that's when he was at that's when he was at his worst. That's when he was doing the worst stuff, I guarantee you. Because this is the most terrible look that he has had. He's had many different looks, but this is by far is the most terrible look. And I
I
never
bet you
realized
somebody copied it
I never
out of
realized
influence.
how light bulbish his head was. But anyway, uh
Little children,
He just
stay
looks stupid.
away from
I'm sorry.
idols. Stay away from
babe.
idols, little children.
Yeah, but
Just saying.
that picture had me cracking up when I ran across it. I was trying to find pictures of Diddy. I was like, this picture is terrible.
That's
Boy.
horrible. One thing I do wonder about though, which I seen something posted today, which was a tweet from Carisha. And she was talking mess, you know, when the thing came out about Diddy's new baby, Love, isn't her name Love, the little girl, little cute girl.
I
I
The
don't
think
know.
mom,
so.
yeah, the mom lives in or she was it lives in Orange County. And so she had it came out who she was and she stated who she was, but at the same time he was with Carisha. So Carisha made a post that said, please, Diddy, if I wanted to, Diddy would have made you eat me out.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But so my thing is,
Diddy did
that's
have those
another
freak
ode
offs.
to stuff people are saying about him, like these women are saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Cassie, someone else that came out said that they recall Diddy making Kim eat, lick, suck on whatever Cassie's tampon.
They was doing all of it.
So
Wow.
it's like, yeah, no, disgusting. But under whatever he said he might have was going to do to her if she didn't, because we can't judge neither one of them to know what he might have said to either one of them
Right.
in the situation. But now to have Carisha blatantly put a statement out like that at some point and say Diddy would have made you wop if I wanted that. So it's kind of like, ooh, that don't look too good circling back now saying stuff like that.
Right. It's wild out there. Listen, people got a lot of fetishes and a lot of desires, inside of them. And sometimes, man, listen, money will make you do some wild stuff. Again, I've seen it up close and personal. That's why I'm glad I never wanted to chase bad money. I've never been infatuated with money. I love money to spend it and to, if it's legit. But I'm glad I've never got to the space to where I'm willing to risk it all for $1. And
cost of living keep going up. I might turn into El Chapo. I'm just saying.
I'll say this. Like my mentor used to tell me, I don't love money. I love what I can do with money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying. That is a fact. That is fact. Because I like being able to pull up on the Celtics and the Mavs for the finals.
Because see, when you love money, then you do things.
That's the problem. That is.
I love buying new wigs so the ladies can pull up on me and buy.
I'm gonna need you to rephrase that in a whole totally different way.
Why?
Before the community thinks you're a part of them.
No, man, please. You better pull up on me.
You could be excited to buy wigs and to pull up on. In your wig. I mean, it could be. I just need you to state that properly.
Listen, you better come get this wig. We got them on sale. I got wigs for sale.
All right, so hold on before we get off the subject of Diddy. I had two more things, right?
Oh yeah.
What it was funny because this was posted, and they was like they working on a documentary called Diddy Do It. That's gonna be on Netflix, so that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna take a deeper dive into what's been going on, and I think they're waiting on more information to come out as far as the Fed case. Yeah, so so they can
allegations and all the
so they can do that. Yeah. But the last question I have is, where the heck is Farnsworth Bentley? All this information.
He know a lot. I know
he got to.
I know got to.
He gotta know, because that's the one person that I can say that for a decade or more, or whatever the time he was with him, that dude was with him all the time.
Wherever Diddy was, he was right next to him.
So he gotta know.
That man been sent off somewhere. Yeah. That man's like, listen, man,
I was about to say,
send me to Bali somewhere, man. Get me away from all of this.
No, he's been seen. He has a family. He has a wife and 2 kids. Like,
but what I'm
he's
saying
living in Atlanta. But what I'm
saying
is,
how much of his life is paid for by Diddy?
All of it.
That's what I'm saying.
All of it.
How much of Diddy probably said whoop wop, and you see how everybody else going.
I'm sure if he was Diddy's assistant like that, he signed the NDA. I'm 100%.
And he for sure done seen what's been happened to other people that we can ponder at being under the power of Diddy can happen to him. So what would you do?
Shut up. I like that I got 20 million in the bank.
He likes that he's alive.
I like that I got 20 million in the bank, and all I got to do is shut up, put my kids in college, take care of my women.
All that's probably paid for.
Yes, everything.
But here's the other side to that.
All I got to do is shut up.
But here's the other side to that, though.
Some people ain't passing that up.
If you're tied up in the Diddy, lifestyle and everything that he did to get that money, if they go back and start, looking at who did what, you might get caught up in that, and you might have that money now, but they might come and put you in the jail for being an accomplice, for helping, for
whatever role you might have played in that.
You still got to break. You still got to be quiet, because if you sign the NDA and that agreement, remember your whole lifestyle could
But
go
what I'm
away.
saying
Now
is,
you may be
regardless of the
free from
NDA,
jail.
if these folk got footage on
Right.
videotape and all this other stuff that they have for years
And you're an
of footage,
accomplice.
and
Yeah.
you're on that doing anything illegal, that NDA don't matter
I
because
know,
you
but what
on
I'm saying
film.
is some people are loyal to a fault. And I don't know him, but I know that there's people who are loyal to a fault and they ain't saying nothing. Like I did everything with you. I know everything, and I ain't gonna say nothing. I'd rather go to jail. How many years you gonna give me? 2, 3. I do the 2 to 3 and I ain't saying nothing. Because when I get out, I still got my 25 mil in the bank.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
some people are that way and some aren't. Some people will take a plea or whatever because they ain't spending no time in jail. But some people are married to the game, and that's just, they ain't saying nothing. I'll do my 2, 3 years and say nothing and be cool. And when I get out, I'm still going overseas somewhere, and you won't know where I am, and I'm cool with that. You can't
And the
do that
crazy
if you got no money in the bank.
and the crazy thing is Stevie J been everywhere. Stevie J been on all kind of
Facts.
interviews,
Facts.
Is he
talking.
still
Defending him.
supporting? Is he
He's
still
defending him.
supporting?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
He's
definitely
still
because he was
On that
actually
show,
living.
on that
He was,
downfall of Diddy with TMZ, Stevie J is in that.
but he
he's
was
still
actually at
defending
the
him?
house.
Yeah.
Yes, he was at the
He was
house
at the
when the
house
feds
when they
raided
pulled
it.
up. Yeah. Yeah. He ain't saying that. That man's whole lifestyle done been funded. You know what I'm saying? Look, you come over here, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know
That's
what I'm
fine, but it's better to be like everybody else. Shut the hell up. Like, why are you?
And Stevie J might just be the dude that carry on
Stevie J's
Diddy's
the good.
legacy
He's the
while
good
I
he
know. I
gets a
guy.
think
total
Stevie J
backseat.
is
He's the
doing the
good
bending.
guy.
He's
He's the
the
good guy.
he's the
You know what I'm
clean
saying?
image, so to speak.
He's doing the bending.
Of course, I mean, some people will bend for 20 mil. Some
I
people will
I
bend
don't
for
know.
a
I
peanut
don't
butter
know.
sandwich.
He said he ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? He said he ain't doing the bending. For me, at the end of the day, I knew Stevie J was going to be loyal because Stevie J has been there since,
Right,
since the inception of, what I'm saying, the whole
Bad
label.
boy and the
So
whole.
right.
he's been working with
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
producing the whole time. And he's
Mm-hmm.
been, like all the rest of the people have come and gone, but
Right.
Stevie J has been one of the
Still,
Yeah.
few people who has been
That's
there like from the beginning. So
I
I
think he
didn't
did some with
expect
the
him.
Lulu. I think he did
now,
Lulu.
now let me ask you this. How clean is this image to carry on the legacy of that music and keep producing music? You
Well,
can still take advice from Diddy, who no matter what we say can create music, yada yada yada, this and that. But you keep the
Steve,
legacy going,
Stevie is a musician though. Like, Stevie is the guy. Like,
right?
yeah, Puff got an ear for music, but Stevie can play the music, sing the
Yeah.
music, compose the music, write the music. Like, he's
Yeah.
one of
He's a
the guys.
musician. Yes.
Right,
So he's gonna be good regardless when it comes to the music because he is music.
right.
He
So
Yeah.
he
there you
is an
go.
actual artist.
That's why I got 500 million reasons not to say nothing because I'm still making this
He's
ship
trying to
roll.
hopefully, because the empire's got to go to somebody.
Facts.
Because it's definitely done in Diddy world.
That's the one thing Suge made a mistake in doing. It's ran by the rights and everything done been transferred. He don't own nothing no more. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't none of it under his care no more. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that's one of the mistakes Suge made. He now Death Row in itself, as huge as it was, I mean, they're trying to revamp it and
Yeah,
Snoop trying to bring
it'll
it
never
back
be what it
now.
was.
Yeah,
Bad Boy will never be what it was.
right,
Because of how the music industry is structured now and everybody
right,
can do their own things independent. You don't
right,
need a machine behind you to
right,
Yeah.
do it now. So they'll never be at those heights, but the brand itself has taken a beating. The
right.
brand of Ciroc has taken a beating. The Revolt TV brand has taken a
What
beating.
didn't he pass? Didn't he let? Well, I
All
know
that stuff is
for a
gone
fact.
now.
Yeah, none of it is his no more. But what they do is they simply just rebrand. Ciroc ain't going nowhere. So if he sold his shares or he sold it to someone that's probably still part of his
Yeah,
unit. his
it's gonna
whatever.
sell, but
Right.
it's not gonna sell like it did,
Right.
right?
They're gonna need
Because
to
Right.
it was a
But it's
completely
staple.
still, but it's still a
visualize, remodel, it's gonna
right.
need you're gonna need to not know it was Ciroc
Right.
beforehand
And
for
if
it
you
to do good.
right, and
That
if you
like I
redo,
mean honestly, if I see the bottle, I need to not know. I mean, I need to pick this up and be like, oh, what's this new stuff? I
right,
need to be like, oh, this is Ciroc. Like they just called it something else now. Like they're
right,
gonna have to redo
rebrand.
like completely look,
Right.
feel, vibe, just the whole angle of
You can put the
marketing and
same liquor in the
That's
bottle,
marketing.
just
but
redo the
see, and when
images.
they do that
Right.
though, if there people, this type of case is so bad, and you know how the social media in the world is now, like they gonna definitely cancel you, cancel culture, and at the end of the day, they're gonna still know that this is still Ciroc and Diddy.
Right.
Are
Like,
they really
and
gonna cancel him though? Is
I
Not
think
cancel culture
really.
still a
They not.
thing?
I think
I
they are.
I don't think they are.
I
I,
think I
for a
think
little
they are. I
while,
think
all he got to do is go away for a while, because you got to get all the Netflix tapes out. Let all the stuff
he
come
no
out.
one's gonna support Diddy in any type of way that he
But
was
who but
supported.
You'd be surprised
who
at
has
how many
cancel
people.
culture canceled lately?
Lately there hasn't been anything worthy like that.
Right.
Somebody else
I
brought
think
that
they've
up too.
drawn back from just canceling anything because they used to just if you yawn the wrong way you was canceled. So I think cancel culture got a little aggressive and
Right.
outlandish. So I think they drew back to there are certain things now that will be for real canceled based off of what's really going on. So I think they redefine what it really needs to be, and it takes something like this to we're gonna see whether or not cancel culture then figured it out and is still existing because this is something that deserves some canceling. Like
I
so
agree.
because everything there were so many things in between that didn't deserve like it was just like okay come on y'all let's cancel her.
Right.
It's just like come on
Right.
like they said something that they said when they was younger that they didn't have they weren't educated about. They apologize now. They took ownership. And then you can cancel them. Still get over it. Stop it. People make
Right.
mistakes. They grew up. But this is a man that knows what he's doing, doesn't care what he's doing, and he needs a therapist and a psychiatrist and some other stuff. This man needs to be canceled and sent to the ward to get what he needs.
Right.
Yeah, well,
It's crazy.
it's gonna be an interesting journey the rest of the way, and I'm looking forward to hearing more information and the stories that continue to come out because for us we grew up during those times in the 90s where a lot of these stories we're starting to hear now, and it's providing some context to the music that was coming out, to some of the things we heard in the music,
For
right?
sure.
So some of the things we heard in the music now it's like, oh, now we understand the correlation between what we were hearing
Right.
and now these stories are coming out. So we putting two
Yeah.
and two together. The math is mathing
The
now.
math is mathing. The word
So
problems make sense.
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, but shout out to the people that checked us out tonight and stuck in here with us. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, we covered a lot of ground. We just wanted to talk about some of the current events, some of the current things that's going on. We enjoy doing these episodes so we can, kind of move around a little bit, give everybody something that they want to hear and talk about where they can chime in. But before we get up out of here, we gotta what I'm saying, let our people give you a closing thought and let you know where to find them on social media. So y'all stay out of trouble and make sure you don't do any of the things that Diddy's doing. I don't care how much money it is. Yeah. So yeah, Trish Michelle, talk to the people, let them know something.
Shit, that's a lot. I don't even know what to tell y'all. Stay off social media. Live your regular life. It's okay to be regular. Like for real.
That's easy.
Like
That's easy to
just
do. That's
be
boring for people
regular
though.
and just enjoy a regular lifestyle, travel, enjoy your people in front of you. Because look at money is great, but goddamn. That's all I can say. Like, because this is just the beginning of madness. Like
Yeah.
madness. And
Start.
then
Yeah.
he's gonna take a few people down with him. And not vocally, but just from the footage he clearly just has.
Somebody said Jay
So
Z next.
But Jay-Z, and look, it was already stated, Jay-Z from security, Jay-Z and Beyonce be at the parties. So I mean, I just don't know. And you guys are gonna see a lot of your favorite people, the people y'all idolize and shouldn't have anyway.
TD Jakes gonna be on there too.
Going down. Going down in what's about to happen. So buckle up. That's all I could tell you. You can find me on Instagram, anywhere, everywhere. Trisha Michelle _TM and Fiyah Session for sure, always.
Yeah, it was TD Jakes on the tapes in Diddy house. It wasn't Bobby Brown this time. It was TD Jakes. It's actually TD Jakes.
And then he
it
had
looked like now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just to be clear, it was TD Jakes, I think.
And he had the nerve to speak out on abuse and stuff. I mean, you know, but sir, you was there.
See, now it's starting to make sense when he said you ever been swallowed. Now he probably got swallowed at Diddy's party, but hey, we don't know that. Speculation. You know what I'm saying?
Swallowing when life is swallowing you.
Buckle up, y'all. Buckle up. That's all I gotta say.
It was hilarious. The baby once heard that and she walked through the house. Have you ever been swallowed? Man,
like, no. Be like, baby, no.
No. You would have been Kevin Hart. No.
Oh man, hilarious.
All right,
man.
Benji Banks, man, the brand. Talk to the people, man.
Man, stay away from idols, man. All right. Y'all idolize so many people, man. Listen, I idolize myself, so I can honestly say I ain't never looked up to somebody like that. So, but man, y'all be cool on you who y'all be giving y'all loyalty and honesty and trust and all of that too. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, you know, just be cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I thank God in my boring moments, I didn't do a lot of wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe had, you know what I'm saying, a few honeys over or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's about it. But, you know what I'm saying? I thank God. I ain't never been buck wild. You get what I'm saying? So I'm appreciative of that, man. And y'all know where to find me. You can find me every day in my shop, setting them new wigs up for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Getting y'all them wig caps, getting y'all that weave glue, getting y'all that stronghold glue. So your wig, you know what I'm saying? When you're in my praise and worship service, that wig holds proper, you know what I'm saying? And I got your back. I got your styling gel, all of that. Come check me out. You can find me on Facebook. You can't miss me there. Find me on the Fiyah Session. Find me at Instagram. You can find me everywhere, man. Just come look for me. I ain't hard to find, like Prime say. So
facts.
It's right there, y'all, because he didn't say it. Instagram, BRB 4701.
IG BRB 4701. Holla at the guy. And he likes to try.
And the new IG page for the shop is up and running too. So we'll get that in rotation. We'll get that in rotation real soon and start getting those numbers jumping on there. But stay tuned for the grand opening. So it's gonna be super dope.
Yeah, Benji likes to try things, so I had to spring this on him right quick. Bam. Benji did the claymation joint, you know what I'm saying? That happened on y'all timeline.
That joint was hilarious, man.
What is the claymation?
Oh, you ain't seen it?
It turned Benji from a suave debonair dude to a 42-year-old white man.
Look at the chunk of meat on the back of his neck.
I'm gonna send it to you, Patricia. I'm gonna send it to you.
Look at the chunk of meat on the back of his neck.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't
all
notice
bad.
That. Hey man, why they give me a blue collar instead of black collar? You know what I'm saying? Let me analyze this thing real quick. Hold on.
Lord
that mustache thick in a mug.
Oh,
hey. Look at his mouth. That nigga said a dude.
How they gonna take my red rose off? You know what I'm saying? Man, they foul for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
I'm gonna send it to you, Patricia. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, this AI stuff is hilarious, man. And I haven't done it. I'm not gonna do it.
Come on, kid. Come on.
You got to. I'm doing it, so you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Y'all have fun with that. And y'all can catch me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch the Fiyah Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH session, will pop right up in your search bar. Make sure you go to YouTube, hit like and subscribe. And also hit the little bell notification. So anytime we post anything new, we go live, we post shorts, any content we post there, you'll get a notification so you won't miss out on anything. And we appreciate you all always rocking with us and staying tuned. Even when we go off the deep end, sometimes you all keep rocking with us. We appreciate it. Each and every week, we come to you live because we want you to join the conversation. So make sure you continue to tune in, keep rocking with us, keep giving us ideas so we can get you what you want to see on the show, and we can get you the entertainment and the education at the same time. We put the medicine in the candy. So yeah, we love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe. Tune in next Tuesday, same bat channel, same bat time. We appreciate y'all. It's all love. Fiyah Session. Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.